Fordham women's basketball against Xavier, a Big East opponent in the Raising the B.A.R. Classic Tournament. How's it going, everybody? Will Talent alongside me, Lou Orlando, for a little pregame show before the Fordham women's basketball squad tips off during their trip in California. A hard-fought loss. I can't say tough. It was a hard-fought loss against a ranked opponent yesterday, number 24, Cal. This Fordham defense, Lou, it's been the focal point all season long. They definitely showed that yesterday. Despite a loss, they put together a very solid contest against Cal Berkeley.
Absolutely. I think if there's any way that you were going to have your four-game losing streak or a four-game winning streak get snapped, that 16-point loss against Cal, I think, is the way you want to do it. And that number, that final score, that margin of victory gets a little lofty at the end. I think Fordham lost a little steam, but after going down 13-2 to open the game and falling down by as many as 14 points early in the first quarter, Fordham was down by 3 late in the second quarter. They made that game tight. Now, Cal adjusted, and a lot of their main offensive pieces, led by Carmeli, they ended up exploding for a big game. But Fordham defensively made a top 25 team and a very talented offense very uncomfortable for large stretches of time. This defense is here. They're here to play. They
were getting rebounds when they needed to, and Taylor Donaldson continuing a very nice Fordham tenure from last year into this year. She drops 24 last night in the losing effort. Cal, they squeezed by 69-53, but moving ahead today now, Lou, they play against a Xavier team who's, after last season, so far on the right track compared to where they were at in 2023, and this is a competition for the Rams where they can get a nice win against an opponent who they kind of match up pretty solidly against in a very tough Big Eastern Conference.
I really like this matchup for the Rams because I think it gives them the edge in a lot of the categories and a lot of the areas where they're really strong at. Xavier's a weak rebounding team. I don't think they play the physical game all that well. Now, they have an excellent forward in Lauren Christie, who's going to be an elite rim protector and a name that you're going to have to watch out for. But across the board and as a whole, Xavier's not great on the glass. They're not phenomenal offensively. They're a little interesting defensively, but they're not playing the complete defensive game that Fordham is. So I think we saw Fordham match Cal physically in the first half. I think we can see Fordham dominate Xavier physically and in the effort stats, the similar way that they showed out yesterday. But I think this time they're going to have the edge, and it should result in what I think is going to be a win as they head back to New York and get ready for A-10 play.
Well, they'll definitely need to replicate that performance on the boards as they had yesterday. But Carrino and Madi Dembele on the call today. They caught up with Coach Bridgette Mitchell pregame. Here is Coach's thoughts.
Carrino and Madi Dembele being joined by Coach Bridgette Mitchell ahead of her matchup against the Xavier Musketeers. Coach, heading into this one, it's rare you get to see your team in such close succession after your last game yesterday. Seeing that and kind of going forward, what are the good things you saw yesterday that you'd like to see more of, and what are some of the things that were maybe not so good you'd like to see cleaned up?
Yeah, definitely. I think that we did a really good job on the defensive end. We forced them into 21 turnovers, and that is a really dominant team. So from a defensive perspective, we were able to do a number of things. I think that an area that we want to really improve today and come out swinging with is our offense. You know, we have the ability to score inside and out, and so with this team, we really want to make sure that we're going to capitalize on our ability to score in the paint. Not just, you know, our guards penetrating and getting into the rim, but also passing it inside to our bigs for them to go to work down there.
Second day here in the Raising the B.A.R tournament. Coach, how do you keep the equilibrium after taking on a team like Cal, now facing a team like Xavier? How do you kind of like keep them in the game? And we have the holidays coming up, so where does the focus come from, and how do you retain that?
Yeah, we tell them that we're in the same boat as Xavier. You have to want it more, and you can't just say you want it more. Your actions have to speak that. So we talked, one of the biggest keys for today in competing against them is winning the 50-50 plays. 50-50 plays are rebounds, 50-50 plays are loose balls. Any opportunity where they can get it or you, we have to get it if we want the outcome to be positive for us.
And you brought up keys there, Coach. Irene Mora, in your recent success and your success at the early part of this season, she's been a key for you guys. She was a bit limited in her offense yesterday. What can she do on a personal level and your team at large do to just maximize her role on the offensive end?
Yeah, she's just got to go out there with confidence. They're a lot bigger from a height perspective and more athletic, but nobody out there on the court is more skilled than she is.
Good. Coach Brissette Mitchell, thank you for your time. Xavier versus Fordham next up on WFUV Sports.
Well, thoughts from Coach Brissette Mitchell. Renomora, 7 points, 9 rebounds yesterday, so maybe another performance for her like that is what these Rams definitely need, Lou. Also, Emma Wilson-Saltos with 8 rebounds. Can't emphasize enough, crashing the boards today, and as Coach said, just playing those tight clamps, bring the straps.
Yeah, to me, Wilson-Santos, that was the big key for Fordham as an impact player off the bench. 4 offensive rebounds. I thought those are the performance you needed when you're fighting up a weight class. Now, Xavier's a Big East team. I don't necessarily think Fordham's fighting up a weight class here. Xavier was 1-27 last year. They still have to prove that they're a better team than they were last year. They already have more wins than they did last year. They still really struggle in the rebounding margin. In the offensive glass, they are dead last in the Big East when it comes to, rebounding margin, offensive rebound. So all those hustle stats that Coach B is talking about, I think this has Fordham written all over it. Now, last night you had that great performance from Taylor Donaldson, 24-point season high. I think you're going to get more of an offensive production from Moore. She did great with the rebounding. She played a lot of minutes. They need her to be a little bit more productive offensively because they're still, I think, a little limited when it comes to their top offensive options. But defensively, hustle stats, this is a game where Fordham has the clear edge going in, and I think that's going to be a big theme in this one.
And Taya Davis as well, 8-3-5 yesterday against Cal. Could also see a little bit more of a higher dose in terms of offensive volume. She definitely was sharing the rock pretty well and was the second leading scorer for the Rams. But we'll keep it going here for just another minute before we send it to our guys over in California. Today, facing off against Xavier, as Lou said, a 1-win team last season, and a little bit of a turnaround. They've lost one conference game, an early one against Creighton, but a pretty tough schedule. They have UConn in just a couple of weeks, but once again, though, Lou, a great test for these Rams. And for Xavier, for their side of things, this is also a pretty important game as it is their last non-conference game as well before they open a pretty tough stretch.
Yeah, you hear coaches talk about we're 0-0 going into conference play, but I do buy into there's something to taking momentum into conference play when those games matter a bit more. So for Fordham, I think they already have momentum on their side. I think they played well last night. They obviously had the winning streak before. For Xavier, it's a 4-game losing streak, so they got to get back on the right side of things. I'll say the one player that I think can really change this game in favor of Xavier, Lauren Christie. Leads the Big East in blocks per game. Didn't play last year after transferring from San Francisco. She missed the entire year with an injury. So that's a game changer that's going to make Xavier better this year. And that's, I think, when you heard Coach B talk about the height of Xavier, that's the first name that comes to mind.
Well, that's going to do it for us from the Rose Hill Studios for this brief pregame show. We'll send it over to Chris Carrino and Madi Dembele. They have the call for you out in California. Enjoy the game, everyone.
Another beautiful day in the Bay Area and another beautiful day for basketball. The Raising the B.A.R. Invitational rose into its second day. In the first set of games, the far-traveling Fordham Rams fell to the hosting Golden Bears. 24 points from Taylor Donaldson proved not to be enough against the 24th-ranked team in the country, Cal Berkeley. A new day means a new challenge for Coach Brissette Mitchell and her Rams. That new challenge, the Xavier Musketeers. Led by true freshman Mary Canerva, Xavier also fell in their first game in the Sunshine State, losing to Temple yesterday. Both of these teams would hate to go winless on these long trips, especially right before the holiday. It's Fordham taking on Xavier from Haas Pavilion on the campus of Cal Berkeley, and it's next on WFUV Sports. welcome in to Haas Pavilion, this beautiful gym on the beautiful campus of Cal Berkeley. Fordham Rams set for their second installation in the Raising the B.A.R. Invitational as they face off with the Xavier Musketeers. I'm Chris Carrino, joined by my partner, Madi Dembele. Madi, a loss for Fordham, the 24th ranked Cal yesterday. Coach Brigitte Mitchell's group got to be looking to bounce back, specifically on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, they're in their 4-game win streak. I mean, they've been throwing the hammer out offensively, and it's complemented their very stout defense here. But Fordham has came without their second best punch yesterday against the UCal Bears. Defense was always there. It's muscle memory to them. But they did not come with the offensive basket. Just seems smaller and smaller. 53 points is what they posted yesterday. No good. It's not going to get it done against the Golden Bears, but they have an opportunity here against the Xavier Musketeers, and it is a trap game, if I do say so myself. Fordham dominate all in the ways that Xavier is not. Xavier, not a good rebounding team, not the most physical, and that is where Fordham specializes. There's one term to describe this game, a tune-up for Fordham. After receiving the loss that they did here, they could get back to the basics, do what they do best, and really capitalize on their strengths.
Yeah, Marty, big stretch of the schedule up ahead for this Fordham Ram team. Last night, being here in this gym, we saw Taylor Donaldson. She took almost half of their team's shots yesterday. She also scored almost half of their points. She was absolutely fantastic, but Coach Brigitte Mitchell looking for some more versatility in that offense, looking for some more people to contribute. I feel like Irene Mora is the beginning of that list.
Yeah, number 3 is a constant when it comes to filling up the box score, but Irene Mora has been billed as a back-to-back center, back-to-the-basket center, and she's every bit of that. Coach is going to look to implement her more into the offense because it could generate so much. You get her post touch, she gets it going, they'll send the double, and she'll find open shooters to kick out to, and they'll be able to knock it down. Fordham's going to look to beat them up in the paint inside.
Xavier, they played also yesterday in the Raising the B.A.R. Invitational. They lost to Temple 51-66. Temple will face off after this against Cal Berkeley, the winners of the Fordham game. It's the Fordham Rams in their home white on the West Coast in the Bay Area at Haas Pavilion on the campus of Cal Berkeley, the host of this invitational. They're going to be going left to right, and the Xavier Musketeers in their dark blue away uniforms going right to left. And we're just about set, ready to go. Both teams not looking to go winless on these long trips right before the holiday. They're looking to get into the win columns, especially with conference play right ahead, Madi.
Yeah, it's a great way to start off conference play. You're going to go back home from the little, I would say, break for us here in California. Xavier, a bit under 500 at 4-7. This could really lift their spirits. And if you're Fordham, 7-4 is on the horizon here if you are able to get a win here. So both teams looking to make an impression of some sort in the Haas Pavilion Pete Newell court.
It's two seniors taking the center circle. Lauren Christie, the forward for Xavier, and of course forward Irene Mora for Fordham. Going to need it to have a big impact if Fordham wants to be victorious today. Those two women will jump it off for us. It'll be tipped off, and Christie will tip it to her teammate, and the Xavier offense is out and running. That's Canerva getting out there quickly on a layup attempt. It's no good, but she gets fouled, and she'll go to the line quickly for 2.
Much of the same start here for Fordham. Fordham losing the tip yesterday, and it results in a quick foul for the Golden Bears earlier on. Xavier able to mimic that plan perfectly, and they're at the charity strike.
It's Mary Canerva, the freshman, true freshman for this Xavier team, as she makes her first. She's had one of, if not the biggest impact in this early season so far, and especially as a true freshman. That's impressive.
Yeah, she fills up the box score, tied for first in the team in scoring at 11 points per game.
Second one's good as well. At least 17 points twice this year. That against Youngstown State and Eastern Michigan. Fordham offense coming out quickly. The press of Xavier causing some disruption. Fordham eventually settles it. It's going to be Kayla Berry trying to get it to the top of the key. Eventually finds Mora, left corner. Mora, dribble fake, driving inside, middle of the paint, and she's called for a travel. Already a turnover for this Fordham offense, and it's going back to Xavier.
Yeah, another flubbed offensive set there coming straight out the gate for Fordham. Fordham with 22, get this, 20 turnovers yesterday. Not something that they want to replicate going into this one.
Absolutely not. It's going to be Borolova bringing it up and passing it ahead. Canerva now getting it to Purvis. Purvis at the midcourt line, getting trapped and stolen. Kayla Berry steals it up ahead to Taylor Donaldson through the left side of the lane. No good on her left-handed layup. Back out, another opportunity for the Ram offense. To Shea Harris, wide open on the right wing. No good on her 3. Kayla Berry tried to corral the offensive rebound on the baseline, couldn't, and it goes out of bounds in favor of Xavier.
And Kayla Berry, call her the invisible man everywhere here on the court, saved the loose ball and grabbed nearly 2 rebounds here. She's everywhere, ladies and gentlemen.
Xavier breaking the Fordham press, getting ahead. Purvis getting fouled right around midcourt. It's Taylor Donaldson receiving the push foul, and it'll stay here with Xavier.
Yeah, a little bit too much chicken wing there. Contact for the ref. The ref is going to blow the whistle, stop play here. Taylor Donaldson not liking that one. Thought she was entitled to the ball. Xavier will have the chance to reset with 22 on the shot clock.
Xavier in the front court, taking it in. That one sent in Garcia Raj. Garcia Raj on the California logo, midcourt. Pass here on the left wing. Purvis pump faking back up top. Garcia Raj to her right. Orbilova. Now back in the left corner to Purvis. Purvis inside Christie. Christie receiving a double team on the left block. All the way in the right corner. And the shot clock expires before they can get a shot off a impressive defensive stance there for the Rams.
And it worked like magic for them yesterday. Fordham causing the cross-court errant passes that forced the shot clock violation there. It worked like money against UCal, and it's good against the Musketeers.
It's Shea Harris passing it to Taya Davis in the backcourt, trying to break the Xavier press at midcourt. They eventually do, getting across. Taylor Donaldson has it in the left corner, drives baseline, passes it back out. Shea Harris, left wing. Harris back to Taya Davis between the circles, top of the arc. Davis drifting over to the right wing, now to Taylor Donaldson, same spot. Donaldson moving left around a Mora screen, now the top of the key. In the right corner to Kayla Berry, she takes a mid-ranger, no good off back rim. Rebound secured by Purvis. Xavier coming the other way. Canerva on the right wing, guarded tightly by Shea Harris. Top of the arc, Purvis. Now on the left wing, Christie. Christie now taking her dribble, pass back up top to Purvis. Purvis on the right wing, driving baseline side. Pass in the left corner. Canerva, her 3, no good off side rim. Defensive rebound by Taya Davis, and they'll slow it down. Couple passes, eventually ends up in the left corner to Shea Harris. She misses a 3. Offensive rebound by Irene Mora. She drives inside and finishes at the rim. Irene Mora on the second chance.
Yeah, that's her first couple of points on the game to give Fordham a score in the break of ice. She's definitely going to get more touches as this one goes on.
Or Borilova, pass on the left side. Garcia Raj to Purvis. Purvis in the left corner. Christie pump fakes back to Purvis. Purvis pump fakes from the left wing. Pass top of the key. Garcia Raj, no good straight on 3. Rebound defensively by Taylor Donaldson.
Right into it! Right into it!
Donaldson still has it on the left wing. Pass same spot to Taya Davis. Taya Davis moving right around to Kayla Berry's screen, driving through the middle of the lane, putting up a shot. No good on the floater. It'll bounce off a Xavier defender and stay here with the Rams.
Kind of finding the good in the midst of the quote-unquote bad here. Fordham's getting shots up, and high-quality shots up. Kayla Berry with a wide-open three-point shot there. Taya Davis able to muscle it in. It's just not going in, but if Fordham's able to generate that quality of shot, they could bet their lucky stars that they will eventually meet the bottom of the basket.
It's going to be Amaya Ferguson under the basket, taking it out to Taya Davis on the left wing. Waiting for some off-ball movement, finds Ferguson top of the arc, moving right around an Antoine screen, then finds Taylor Donaldson right wing, working on her defender, crossing over right to left, loses the ball, and it rolls out of bounds. It'll stay here with the Rams, off a Xavier defender.
Yeah, they catch a lucky break there, 2-2 to score with 6:52 left to play. Fordham not seeming to get anything here, but they'll get a second crack on it.
Right into guard!
Going to be taken out once again under the on the sideline here, actually. Taylor Donaldson will receive it parallel to the Xavier bench. She'll pass it into Taya Davis. Taya Davis receives it at midcourt. Defender backs off slightly, finds Taylor Donaldson in the left corner. 1 second on the shot clock, tries to get up a shot and doesn't. A shot clock violation for the Rams. Now 2 shot clock violations, both teams.
Yeah, Xavier getting one back on the Fordham Rams, forcing the errant possession there. Fordham, no dice.
It's going to be Borilova bringing it up for Xavier, the taller forward, getting it across half court, passing it up ahead. Purvis to Canerva, back to Purvis, left corner. She loses the ball trying to drive baseline, and that's out of bounds in favor of the Rams.
Yeah, perfect rotation there by Fordham, forcing the ball handler out on top to give up the ball. And on the sideline there, out of bounds on Purvis. Fordham, A+ defensive possession there.
Davis Playing it up to Antoine midcourt, then playing it up ahead to Mora. Mora receives it on the right wing, drives inside, blocked, gathers it back out to Ferguson. Ferguson skipped past to Taylor Donaldson. Her left corner three, no good. Ball still on the floor, eventually gathered by Xavier. Still 2-2 Fordham Xavier, 6:10 to go in this first quarter. Canerva driving baseline side on the left, back out, top of the key Purvis. Purvis pump fakes, then drives right side of the lane, puts up a layup, no good. Ball goes out of bounds and goes back to the Rams.
Yeah, Purvis is out there. She's a very, very speedy guard. So credit there to Amaya Ferguson, staying even with her, turning and running as opposed to just sliding 2 steps. And she forces the slight miss at the basket there. 2-2 is still a score with 5 left to go.
It's going to be Anastasia Velhovic shoving in for the Fordham Rams. The freshman has been seeing more and more action as the seasons went along. She impressed in some minutes last night and getting a real opportunity here tonight. Antoine gathers it at midcourt to Ferguson, left wing, now drifting towards center court. Ferguson deep on the right wing to Shea Harris. Shea Harris moving left, finds herself at the left elbow, takes a jumper, no good on the mid-range. It'll be a foul on the floor. That one will go against Xavier, and Fordham will keep it.
And again, I have to stress it, Fordham's getting a high-quality shot on that last possession there. Fordham's been getting it up, and again, if you continue to find that type of shot will begin to find you.
Ferguson under the basket on the baseline, inbounding, tried to get it to Shea Harris in the left corner, who's intercepted out of bounds. It'll stay here with the Rams.
Yeah, and Emma Wilson-Saltos is going to get a little bit of opportunity here. She played very, very well yesterday against UCal, playing bigger than her size. She's going to fill in for Irena Mora coming into the game.
Yeah, Lou Orlando touched on her briefly in the pregame, doing a lot of the dirty work for this Ram team. As Shea Harris receives it on the left corner. Tried to pass it into the post, and a block, a push foul called. That one on Xavier, off the ball once again. And once again, Fordham will take it out under the basket.
And again, she's an X factor. She draws the foul immediately on the opposing big, and Fordham's going to have another chance at this.
Ferguson under the basket, parallel with the right block, into Shea Harris in the left corner. Harris back to Ferguson, left wing, going right around an Antoine screen, taking the straight-on three, no good for Ferguson. Offensive rebound, batted around, and eventually in the hands of Ferguson. She'll drive it through the middle of the lane, dump off pass to Emma Wilson-Saltos. She'll miss the layup, and Xavier will get the defensive rebound, pushing it with some speed. Mary Canerva stopping on the left wing, then using a hesitation dribble, driving. Pass back to Canerva. Canerva skip pass to Mayo, left wing, air ball three. It's going to be a defensive rebound by Shea Harris. They move with speed, coming the other way offensively. Shea Harris on the right wing, stopping at the free throw line, taking the mid-ranger, no good, rimming out. Once again, another foul after the rebound. That one going to go on Fordham with Lauren Christie laying on the ground.
Yeah, Fordham's going to take the timeout here. Xavier's going to take the timeout here. But Fordham, you see that they seem to be out of whack on that defensive possession, but they get back quick. Anastasia Velhovic kind of got a piece of that ball on that possession, resulting in the very, very bad miss by the Xavier Musketeers. Fordham not always out of it just when you least expect it. They're back.
Fordham and Xavier both having offensive slow starts to this game. 4:58 to go in this first quarter. It's 2-2 tied between Fordham and the Xavier Musketeers. We'll be right back from California and the Pavilion.
Hey sports fans, it's Bobby C. I'm the sports director here at WFUV. From live broadcasts of Fordham athletics to coverage of all the professional sports teams in the NYC, we've got everything a sports fan could ask for. Like talking sports? Check out One-on-One, New York's longest-running sports call-in show, as well as our diverse collection of podcasts. If you're a Fordham student interested in joining our program, feel free to shoot me an email, bobbyc@wfuv.org. And as always, thank you to all of our listeners who support us every week. 90.7 FM is the home of WFUV Sports.
Back here at the Haas Pavilion at Cal Berkeley, Chris Carrino joined you with Madi Dembele, my partner. And I just mentioned it, Madi, going into the break, there's been a bit of a slow start on both ends offensively to the start of this game. Both teams a combined 1 for 15 from the field, 0 for 7 from three. It has been a slow start offensively for both of these teams. Neither team really getting an offensive groove.
Yeah, not at all. You get the impression with the score that when is the ice gonna fall and melt, rather? And I mean, if you're Fordham, you have to be happy with the quality of shots that you're getting, but still, they are not falling. If you're Xavier, you just seem to be stuck in quicksand. Nothing seems to be falling for you. You've been to the line once, you've converted on those 2 free throws there, but it's been nothing else. Slow start for both teams. We're still waiting for the real action to come about.
We talked about the glass and the rebounding and just how important that was last night in Fordham's matchup. Here today, that maybe the scoring on both ends hasn't necessarily been there, but Fordham, 5 offensive rebounds to Xavier's 0. That discrepancy might help them as we go down the stretch.
The devil you know.
It's going to be a steal, almost a steal in the backcourt, a pick. Xavier ends up getting it back. Now into the front court. Christie has it and finishes on the other end, breaking the half-court press from Fordham, and really no one there in the front court.
Able to beat Wilson Salto's contest. Nice job by Christie with the extreme focus.
That ball batted out of bounds, and it's Taylor Purvis who's amped up the turnover forced by Xavier, and they'll get the ball right back.
And Bridgette Mitchell wanted to call on that one with the contact. Carissa Antoine all out of whack, uncoordinated as the ball makes its way out of bounds.
Canerva bringing it up for Xavier, drifting toward midcourt, guarded by Velhovic. Pass to Christie on the right wing, next to her. Now pass down low, inside. Back out top of the arc to Christie. Christie has it at the right elbow, guarded by Wilson Saltos. Back out, Oborolova, left wing, back to Christie. Christie has it left elbow. Christie back to her defender, backdoor pass, tried to sneak it into Purvis, couldn't, it was stolen, and a foul after the fact going on Xavier, and Fordham will have it back offensively going the other way.
Yeah, and I don't know if you heard it through the crowd, Mike. Coach Bridgette Mitchell, good job to the Fordham unit out there, making the Xavier Musketeers go through their progressions, and they're not able to get anything. Tried the backdoor cut, but TD had hands all over it.
Fordham bringing it up from the backcourt into the front court. Xavier still with a half-court press, giving Ferguson some trouble eventually, getting it across half-court to Velhovic. Pass up ahead to Taylor Donaldson, top of the arc to Ferguson, left wing. Lob pass into Donaldson, opposite wing, right wing, dribbles inside. Few dribbles, floater, no good on the floater. Saltos on the offensive glass and putback. Emma Wilson Saltos doing the dirty work and getting Fordham back level 4-4.
She is a Skywalker amongst two, grabs the rebound out of the air and puts it down.
It's a trap and steal by Taylor Donaldson at midcourt. Fordham offense coming the other way. Dribble handoff to Ferguson on the left wing. Pass in the right corner. Velhovic has some trouble handling it, and it goes out of bounds.
Yeah,
another turnover for Fordham.
It appears it was deflected off of the Xavier defender there. Not too sure. Puts Fordham all out of whack. Velhovic gets a hand on it afterwards, and it makes its way out of bounds. Good defensive possession there by the Musketeers.
It'll be Xavier taking over, another full court press for the Fordham defense. It'll be Mayo to pick it up. To Purvis at midcourt. Back to Mayo. Eventually playing it up ahead to Canerva to get it across half court. Canerva has it deep on the right wing to Purvis. Now to Lopez on the left corner. Lopez back top between the circles to Canerva. Canerva to Lopez, left wing. Pass fake, then dribbles inside a little bit. In the left corner, Purvis, shot fake, and steps on the out-of-bounds line. A turnover for the Xavier offense. More good defense from the Fordham Rams.
Yeah, the Rams forcing the Musketeers to go deep in their bag, like the fries at their bottom, going through all the offensive options, and to no avail. It's going to be Purvis on the out-of-bounds there.
It's Donaldson playing it up ahead to Rose Nelson. Back to Donaldson. Gonna reset the offense to Taya Davis between the circles. Top of the arc, passing to Taylor Donaldson all alone on the left wing in isolation. Driving right. Pass to the right wing. Taya Davis shot fakes, drives inside of the free throw line. Back out to Taylor Donaldson. Her straight on three, no good, rims out, and a defensive rebound by Purvis. Xavier's offense keeps moving. Canerva at center court, drifting over to the left wing to Purvis, left corner. Nice closeout there by Wilson Saltos. Back to Canerva, left wing. Canerva moving right around the screen now at the free throw line, driving through that, finishing at the right block, not getting the shot to go. And Taya Davis in the Fordham offense, moving the other way. Beautiful outlet pass to Taylor Donaldson. She misses the shot under the basket, and Xavier corrals it once again.
Yeah, can't be mad with that possession. Taylor Donaldson going up like a wide receiver, catching it, but not finishing it. It's been the problem with Fordham yesterday. They need to clean that up.
Canerva on the right wing, dribble handoff. Lopez to Mayo, top of the arc, playing it in. Oborolova on the right wing to Canerva on the right wing. She hits the three.
Yeah, again, the leading scorer for the Musketeers, knocking down the first three of the game and finally moving this game along.
Taya Davis tries to cross over right to left, almost stolen from her. Eventually gets tipped out of bounds. It'll stay here with Fordham tipped off of Purvis. It'll be a substitution here. Antoine and Emma Wilson-Salto subbing out that in favor of Irene Mora and Kayla Berry.
Yeah, again, and we talked about it yesterday, Chris, the big lineups that Coach Mitchell is able to put out there. KB, Rose Nelson, Irene Mora, all above 6 foot. So to his detriment, to its success, she's going to run the lineup.
Donaldson has it on the right wing from the inbound to Taya Davis on the California logo, the California script logo. Drifting over to the left wing, going around a Kayla Berry screen. Pass up top, Rose Nelson. She snatches through right. Pass inside to the paint is stolen away by Xavier. Canerva in the Xavier offense is moving. Pass to Purvis on the left wing. She passes it quick inside. Mayo couldn't quite get the shot up quickly enough before Taya Davis swatting it and picking up the foul.
Yeah, Taya Davis back there playing bigger than her size. She's going to get a little bit too much contact, a little bit too much skin on the block attempt, but nonetheless, very, very impressive there, trying to stop it before the bleeding continues even more.
It's going to be Mayo going to the free throw line now as she misses the first rimming out there. The sophomore Marquette transfer, 2023-2024, all Big East freshman team. Very impressive stuff from her. She averaged 10 points a game, season high 15 so far this season. That one was against Eastern Michigan a month or so ago. It was a miss in the second as well, 0 for 2 at the line. It's now the Fordham offense taking over. Rose Nelson on the left wing, driving baseline side, stopping. Tried to get it top of the key to Taylor Donaldson. It is fought for on the ground now. Loose ball ends up being a jump ball. It'll stay on this side with the Rams.
Yeah, Rose Nelson kind of picking up her dribble prematurely, looking for the guard outlet release there. Taylor Donaldson hits the floor. It's going to be a jump ball here for them, kind of wiping the sweat out of their face. Kind of a relief there that they'll have another chance to crack this egg.
Maya Ferguson parallel with the right block on the baseline, inbounding to Taylor Donaldson, left corner. She takes a quick three, and it hits. Taylor Donaldson with the three, and she brings Fordham back level 7-7.
Yeah.
42 seconds to go in this first quarter. 40 seconds on the game clock, 24 on the shot clock. 7-7, tie game, and a travel there. That travel goes on Arun Oreo. That was deep on the right wing. She took too many steps, and Fordham gets it back with the chance.
Yeah, with 36.8 left to go on the clock. Number 3's three kind of gives you the chance to go on a little bit of a run here as you close out the first.
24 on the shot clock, 28 on the game clock. Taylor Donaldson drives in, pass out in the left corner. Rose Nelson, she drives inside, puts up a layup at the right block, misses. Xavier coming the other way. 20 seconds on the first quarter clock. Purvis stops at the right wing, decides to take it out, then spins, drives inside, middle of the paint, and finishes at the rim on Amaya Ferguson. Nifty work there. 10 seconds on the clock for the Fordham offense. Ferguson plays it up ahead to Taylor Donaldson. She'll take a quick three from the left corner, and it hit! Another three from Taylor Donaldson at the end of the first quarter, and she gives this Fordham Ram team a first quarter lead, 10-9 after one.
Three to the sky. She did it twice. Ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Donaldson. I don't know if you're familiar with her, but you better get acquainted quick. A-10's leading scorer from last season, averaging 16 points per game for the Rams this season after some time with injury, and she was the only person in double figures going into yesterday. She can fill it up with the best of them. She is a scorer in all senses of the world. Were two big triples there to give the Rams the lead here as we enter the second quarter.
Having a lot of fun in the Sunshine State. We're going to take a little break, send it back to the opposite coast, our home, the Rose Hill studios. We're going to hand it off to Lou Orlando there. He has a one-on-one scoreboard update. Take it over, Lou.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Week 16 in the NFL, going to skim right past the two New York teams. Jets fall to 4-11, a 19-9 loss to the Rams at MetLife. Jets blew a 3-point halftime lead, 13 unanswered for LA in the fourth. Meanwhile, the Giants now 2-13 as they get crushed in Atlanta. The G-Men have now lost 10 straight games. That is the longest losing streak in program history. One bright spot, Malik Neighbors brought in 7 receptions today. He's got 97 receptions on the year. That's a Giants rookie record as he surpasses Odell Beckham Jr. Neighbors awfully close to becoming the first rookie wide receiver this season with 100 receptions and 1,000 yards. That's pretty cool. Some exciting games in the 1 p.m. slate. The Commanders come from behind over the Eagles. Jaden Daniels finding Jamison Crowder in the end zone with 6 seconds left. Washington outscores Philly 22-6 in the fourth quarter, and the Commanders on track to make the playoffs for the first time since 2020. Panthers upset Arizona in overtime. Chuba Hubbard, the game-winning touchdown. And another week, Dan Campbell's Detroit Lions making more history. Lions blow by the Bears 34-17. That's Detroit's 13th win of the season. That's a new franchise record. Got some fun games in the 4 p.m. slate. We'll get to those later with the one-on-one scoreboard update. I'm Lou Orlando.
Chris Carrino joined by Madi Dembele. It's a 10-9 Fordham Ram lead over the Xavier Musketeers after the first quarter here at Haas Pavilion on the campus of Cal Berkeley. Madi, an impressive end to the first quarter there with some fireworks from Taylor Donaldson.
Yeah, if you're the Fordham Rams, you're living by one adage. The time is now. 2 big triples there by Taylor Donaldson to close out the first, and the turnover possession there on the side of the Musketeers. This is your time to now go on the run and finally create some separation rather than just a 1-point lead.
It's going to be inbounded into the Xavier offense there in the front court. In a front court set, Oreo on the left wing to Mayo. She hits a three. Mayo with the wide open left wing three. She hits and gives Xavier back a 2-point lead.
Her friends call her Neek Mayo. It was pure from where I'm sitting. Absolutely great triple there.
And a steal at midcourt. It's Lopez. Has it on the right wing to Purvis. Back to Lopez. Lopez now has it, dribbling on the right wing to Oreo on the right elbow. Oreo, dribble handoff, Mayo. She takes the top of the key jumper, and it hits from mid-range. Fantastic work here by Xavier on both ends.
Yeah, Miss Mayo with 5 straight points here to give the Musketeers back the lead.
Donaldson playing it up ahead to Rose Nelson. Nelson, fantastic shovel pass inside to Kayla Berry. She misses a shot. Second chance opportunity for Mora inside, and the shot will not count. A traveling violation there. Arene Mora's known for her footwork there, just a little too much of the footwork.
Yeah, happy feet, if I do say so myself. 10-14. She felt the lead kind of slipping away, kind of this game slipping away, and got too excited there on that one.
It's going to be Purvis gathering it at midcourt for the Xavier offense. To Mayo, top of the arc. On the right wing, Garcia Raj. Deep on the right wing, directing traffic. Dribble handoff on their right wing to Mayo. To Oreo, top of the arc. To Purvis on the left wing. A lot of passing from Xavier. Oreo meeting Kayla Berry, top of the arc. Dribble handoff to Purvis. Purvis moving out to the top of the arc. Now driving through the right side of the lane. Finding herself at the right block. Spinning. Putting up a shot. Hitting. And the foul. Purvis with the and one, and she'll have a chance to complete it at the charity stripe right now.
Just keep swimming, moving that feet, pivoting off 1, 2, 3 times to get it to go. Purvis, the second in Big East in steals, but she could also do it on the offensive end.
Yeah, fantastic work there from the Houston transfer. Had a big role with this team last year, has really stepped into her own and blossomed in this early season so far. She'll have a chance at the three-point play. 16-10 how it stands before the free throw. 8:47 to go in this first quarter. Xavier leads. Purvis taking a couple of dribbles and sending off the free throw. Off back iron, a fight for the rebound. Taylor Donaldson eventually gets it on the defensive glass. Played up ahead to Rose Nelson, all by herself, putting up a layup and finishing. Good transition work there from the Rams.
Rose Nelson up ahead.
Played up ahead to Christie at midcourt. Christie gathers it, then hands it off. Garcia Raj deep on the right wing. Now drifting over to the right corner. Has Rose Nelson, drives baseline side, passes it to the left wing. That three is taken. No good on the contested three from Lopez, and it'll go out of bounds in favor of the Fordham Rams.
Yeah, going back to that last play, Rose Nelson outreaching for the board there. Goes up against the opposing big, and she's able to get it to go, using that frame, that size, to intimidate the contest. And get it for 2.
It's 16-12, Xavier still leads. Played up ahead to Rose Nelson in the front court. She'll drive inside. No good on the contested layup at the right block. On the offensive glass, Mora snags it right at the top of the key. Ball bounced all the way out, past to Shea Harris. Left wing three is good. Shea Harris with the three, and she brings the Rams back within 1.
The Appalachian State transfer. She's been so much fun for this Fordham Ram unit. She gets it for a big-time triple far side wing.
It's going to be Garcia Raj picking it up top of the arc. 16-15. Xavier leads, 7:44 to go in this first half. Christie gathers it top of the key. Behind the door pass to Lopez. Tried to sneak it into her in the middle of the paint. It was intercepted. Fordham offense coming the other way. Played up ahead to Rose Nelson. Has it deep on the left wing to Shea Harris. She stands at the middle of the California logo. drifts over to the left wing. Now a dribble handoff on the right wing to Taylor Donaldson. She fires a quick three, and it hits! Taylor Donaldson on the deep three, and she brings Fordham to a 2-point lead.
If I'm not mistaken, number 3 is 3 for 3 on triples. That's a mouthful, a lot of alliteration there.
Garcia Raj getting it across half court for Xavier. Dribble handoff to Mayo. Play it top of the key to Lopez. Played to Mayo once again, and an offensive foul, an illegal screen called. A re-screen there, Madi, and it worked against them. It'll go back toward the Rams.
It's funny you say that, Chris. The re-screen there by Christie, not getting her feet set, kind of getting a little bit too wide there. And the refs are going to blow their whistle here just as the game seems to be getting away from the Musketeers.
Rams are going to pick it up after the turnover. Just under 7 minutes to go in this first quarter. Still 18-16. Played up ahead to Mora. Mora gathers it on the right wing. Pass back out Donaldson. Same spot on the right wing. Her three, no good offside rim. Fight on the offensive glass. Rose Nelson's on the ground. Eventually picked up by Taylor Donaldson, and she steps on the mid-court line. It's going to be what would you call that? In the backcourt, both ways, and it'll go back toward the Xavier Musketeers.
Yeah, Fordham generating a lot of good shots here, as they've been doing all game long, kind of pushing quickly in transition to find the open man, whether that be under the rim or by the three-point line.
Raj played up ahead to Mayo. Oborolova on the left wing, just standing there, not picking up her dribble, waiting for the dribble handoff. Eventually finds Canerva on the left wing. Pass on the opposite right wing, stolen by Donaldson. Finishing on the other end, she does, doing it on both ends. Taylor Donaldson doing it for the Rams.
You know, you gotta absolutely love it when your best offensive option also does the dirty work and gets her hands in there in the mud, not scared to do it. She leads the team with 2.2 steals. She's got one for the day. Let's see if she can build upon that. Taylor Donaldson, ladies and gentlemen, the Fordham Rams, 20-16 with 6:19 left to go in the second period.
Coach Billy Chambers calls a 30-second timeout for Xavier. She wants to slightly talk it over. Fordham really building some momentum right now. They have been on the back of some really great offensive work from the likes of Taylor Donaldson, from the likes of Irene Mora. Irene Mora not necessarily scoring the ball, but giving this team so many opportunities on the offensive end that they've been able to capitalize on.
Yeah, the Fordham Rams kind of took a page out of the book that they were reading yesterday, if you do, Chris, and they're running in transition there. They're pushing the ball quick, fast, and in a hurry. They're finding Rose Nelson and Irena Mora under the basket quickly for the high percentage shot. If that's not there, the counter is the three-point shot, and Taylor Donaldson has been hot there. She just missed the last one, but she was 3 of 3 before that one. So Fordham making the Musketeers run. They're trying to get them out of the gym.
And I think, Monty, the biggest discrepancy, at least on paper in this game so far, is the offensive rebound tally. Xavier still without an offensive rebound. Some great defensive glass work from the Rams, and the Rams in their own offensive rebound category. Already 8 offensive rebounds, and 8 offensive rebound disparity between the two teams. This early in the game, it shows why Fordham has had so much momentum of late.
Yeah, 16 for the day for Fordham. On the day, the Musketeers only amounting 9. None on the offensive side there. So perhaps I would say the most pivotal part of basketball, giving yourself a second chance after initial offensive actions do not go as planned for them, giving themselves the benefit of the doubt. The Musketeers not doing the same, and it's something that Fordham's been accustomed to. They love to crash the glass. The Musketeers are notorious for being a weak team there, so Fordham just playing to their strengths. Simple as that.
Canerva and Mayo both have 5 points for the Xavier team. Seem to be two of the vocal points offensively for the Xavier team. Both younger players. It is a younger group for the Xavier team, spearheaded by Canerva, that has made a difference so far this season.
Yeah, Canerva tied again for team in scoring as the leader with 11 points per game. She's also leading the team in assists. If you talk about Nick Mayo, I mean, like, you saw the quick 5 points she had entering this second, so she could surely fill it up as well. If Fordham has to key in on 2 players in specifically, it's going to be those 2 ladies there.
Fordham in their home white going left to right. Xavier in their away dark blue going right to left. It's Xavier picking it up in the backcourt, moving it into the front court. Canerva bringing it up for the Musketeers. Mayo gathering it on the right wing. Back to Canerva, top of the arc. Playing it to Lopez, top of the arc, same spot. Skip pass, eventually getting to Mayo. Right corner 3 is good. 3 from Mayo, and Xavier is right back in this game with 3-point shooting.
Yeah, she's going to add another triple to her 8-point total there. Nick Mayo, ladies and gentlemen.
2019 Ram lead over Xavier. Shea Harris has it deep on the right wing. Pass over to Rose Nelson, the opposite wing, to Antoine, left elbow. Tried to pass it inside to Mora. Mora has trouble handling onto it. It'll go back the other way in favor of Xavier.
She's going to get a lot of ball feel as this one goes on. Arena Mora, coach stressed it before the game. That's a player that she wants to be implemented within the offense. So Arena Mora is going to have to get used to the skin of a basketball because Fordham is looking at her to take this one home.
It'll be Canerva taking it out in the backcourt for Xavier. Rams with a full court press. So 2019 Ram lead. 5:39 to go in this first half. Pass back out to Canerva, top of the arc to Mayo, deep on the left wing. Mayo looking for direction from her head coach. Now drifting over to the left corner, driving baseline side, putting up a shot, and it's blocked. Mora and Harris pick up a double team on that left block and do fantastic defensive work.
I gotta say, it's something I've said all year about Carissa Antoine in particular. She has great hands, almost like a defensive back in football, always looking for the basketball, and she's able to swat it into no man's land.
Borolova to Mayo, left wing, now moving right around in a Borolova screen. Now has it straight on, back to a Borolova. A Borolova picks it up, right elbow, then takes the jumper. No good from mid-range, rebound by Donaldson. Fordham offense coming the other way. Pass up ahead to Shea Harris, left wing. Harris looking for the screen, gets it, goes right around it. Pass to the rolling Antoine. She puts up a shot, no good. Offensive rebound by Mora. Another offensive rebound for the Rams. Another offensive possession for the Rams. Barry has it on the left wing, miscontrols it, and it rolls out of bounds. A turnover for the Rams on the extra opportunity. Hate to see that happen.
Hate to see it happen, especially because Fordham's been doing a good job with the turnover number. They've been keeping it relatively down as we make it to halftime here, but you want to eliminate that completely.
It's Lopez to Borolova on the right elbow. Dribble handoff to Mayo. The driving Mayo. Pass out in the right corner to Canerva. Canerva moves toward the right wing. Back toward a Borolova. Borolova. Backdoor pass to the cutting Canerva, and she's rejected at the rim. Once again, it's Antoine. Donaldson moving fast for the other way for the Ram offense. Stopping at the left wing. Taking a three. No good on the pull-up three. Berry on the offensive glass. Another offensive rebound for the Rams. Antoine has it straight on. Drifting over to the right wing. Pass up top to Shea Harris. Shea Harris drifts over to the right wing. Deep on the right wing. Drives her right around a Mora screen. Driving to the right side of the lane. No good at the rim. Rebound by Xavier. It's tipped out by Shea Harris. It'll stay with Xavier going the other way.
Confusion on the side of the Rams there. Shout out to Kayla Berry, able to get the weak side rotation help and grab the rebound there before them, not knowing what to do with it, kind of playing hot potato, and it eventually goes away up the Musketeer.
Going to be another press on the backcourt inbound for the Fordham Rams. 2019 still. Score stays the same. Rams leading the Xavier Musketeers. 4 minutes to go in this first half. Really low-scoring affair so far. Canerva playing it at the free throw line. Borolova back to Canerva on the dribble handoff, and she'll get fouled on the drive. Borolova and Canerva doing some good work together offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. Drawing fouls there. If that's one way that's going to keep them in this game, certainly is. 1 point separates the two teams, but it just seems like the Musketeers are lagging so far behind. So the quick foul helps them find their offensive identity.
Canerva plays it in from the baseline. Lopez has it on the right wing to Canerva right next to her. She'll take a three and a hit. Canerva left open, and she makes the Fordham defense pay for it. 22-20 Xavier.
That's what happens when you take a breather, Chris.
3:40 to go in this first half. Taya Davis drives it from the left side of the paint, and it's no good. It's shuffled around on the offensive glass, eventually into the hands of Purvis on the defensive glass. Played up ahead to Canerva. Canerva on the left wing. Faking, going right around her screen, going baseline side. Pass out to Purvis. Straight on to Mayo. Her three. No good off back iron. Defensive rebound by Taya Davis. Davis crossing over, trying to get past Purvis, and bumped, and she'll get a foul right around the left elbow. That'll be on the floor. Neither team in the bonus yet, so it'll be inbounded under the basket on the baseline.
Yeah, it's such a tight game here. That was a bit of an ambitious shot there by Canerva near the free throw line, extended with a man in her face, especially Wilson Saltos, who could jump out there in a close game. That's not the offensive possession that you want in this circumstance.
Taya Davis taking it out on the baseline. Four corner set up for Fordham offensively on the inbound. Ferguson, Wilson, Saltos, Mora, and Nelson all taking respective corners of the paint. Ferguson going around a Wilson Saltos screen, wide open on the left wing. She'll take a three, air ball, Rose Nelson tries to save it from going out of bounds, passes it to Lopez of Xavier, and their offense is moving the other way. Pass in the left corner, Mayo, skip pass in the left wing, back top of the key, Oborolova. Backdoor pass to a cutting Purvis, no good on her layup attempt, but she'll get fouled by a contesting Wilson Saltos, and she'll go to the line for 2.
Wilson Saltos not knowing where the foul came from. It's all kosher from where I'm sitting here, hands straight up, may have come just a little bit down, and the referee's going to explain it to Coach Bridgette Mitchell here. It's not going to matter because Purvis is going to get her day at the charity stripe.
Yeah, the referee explaining, yeah, she was straight up, but she got her on the body as well. You can't just go straight up if you also get somebody in the act. Yeah. So a foul called there on Emma Wilson Saltos. It'll be once again Purvis going to the line. Purvis averaging 5.7 points per game this season. I think there might be a video review, actually. The referee's going to the review table. They're going to take a look at the footage, and I think this might just be some sort of clock check as they come out very quickly, as both teams come out of their mini huddles with their head coaches very quickly as well, and Purvis will get on the charity stripe. Purvis wearing some Kobe 8s, matching the dark blue uniform she's wearing above that. A clean look, to say the least, Madi.
Yeah, team-sponsored Kobe 8s. I wish I could get myself a pair, but I wouldn't need it, not particularly the athlete.
Purvis makes the first there. Purvis stretching this Xavier lead out to 3 now, 23-20, 2:52 to go in this first half. Purvis on the second now. Takes it and hits. 2 for 2 at the line for Purvis, a 24-20 lead for Xavier. 2:49 to go in this first half. Ferguson getting it across half court to Mora. Mora has it top of the arc. Pass to Ferguson deep on the left wing to Taya Davis, same spot. Moving right around to Mora's screen to Rose Nelson on the right wing. To Mora at the free throw line. Faces up her defender. Drives through the right side of the lane and finishes at the rim. Irene Mora scoring with efficiency.
And that's why she gets paid the big bucks. A true back to the back center. And Irene Mora getting it done, cleaning up around the glass.
It's played up top of the key. Oborolova driving through the right side of the lane on Emma Wilson Saltos. Back out Canerva, pump faking at the right wing. Still looking around. Faking left around the screen, going right, putting up a floater in the right side of the lane. No good. A scrap for it on the glass. Ends up out of bounds and in favor of the Fordham Rams.
Yeah, and Taya Davis staying with the ball handler even as she rejects the screen there. Not going for the okie doke. Stays in front of her and forces the little 15-foot floater that banks off.
Emma Wilson Saltos subbing out, getting a rest with just over 2 minutes to go in this second quarter. 24-22, Xavier Musketeers leading the Fordham Rams. Taya Davis has it on the right wing. Crossover left to right, trying to get in front. Pass in the right corner, Rose Nelson. Back out, right wing, Ferguson. Driving through the middle of the lane. Tried to pass it down low to Mora. Mora gathers it, back out to Davis. Davis driving through the middle of the lane. Back out, Ferguson. Left wing, her three is good. Amaya Ferguson on the three, and she gives Fordham back their lead, 25-24.
Something I've been saying all season long. Amaya Ferguson has some of the sweetest strokes that you have ever seen. The lefty jumper gets it to go, 25-24 Fordham.
Coach Bridgette Mitchell hungry for a stop. Oborolova on the left elbow, passing it downstairs to a cutting Canerva, and she scores. Another score for this Xavier team, and both offenses starting to heat up.
As standard as you could get for the Musketeers, just a high post action, little cut beyond door for the deuce.
Taya Davis deep on the right wing, dribble handoff to Taylor Donaldson. Taylor Donaldson driving from the right wing to Irene Mora on the right block. Back out Ferguson, straight on three, she'll take it. No good off front rim. On the offensive glass, Taylor Donaldson cleans it up with the layup. 27-26, 55 seconds to go in this first half. Fordham leads. It's Canerva at the Fordham script logo, passing it at the free throw line. Oborolova will take the jumper. No good from mid-range. Defensive rebound brought down by Ferguson. Ferguson pass to Taylor Donaldson, right wing. In the right corner, Rose Nelson. She drives baseline side, puts up the reverse layup. No good. Mora there on the second chance. No good on her shot, but she'll go on the line for 2 free throws. Good work there from the Fordham Rams.
Defense to offense for the Rams there. The Musketeers trying to catch him with the same exact play that worked on the last one, but Fordham able to get over the screen, put up the bad shot there by the Musketeers. They go out in transition, keep the ball moving, and now they find themselves on the line. It's going to be the percentage leader from the free throw line, Irene Mora. They're trying to enlarge in the lead, by 3.
Mora, 4 points tonight, 2 for 2 from the field. First time at the free throw line. She'll miss her first. That one swirls in and out, left to right, and it will leave Mora with one more opportunity at the line. 27-26, Rams lead the Xavier Musketeers. 33 seconds to go in this first half. Mora taking her second free throw and hitting 1 for 2 at the line for Mora.
Let's get one.
30 seconds on the shot clock, 33 on the game clock. Purvis getting it across half court, playing it up past half court to Canerva. Canerva playing it to Raj on the left wing, now in the left corner to Oborolova. Back to Canerva, top of the arc, guarded tightly by Ferguson. Going left, tried to go the left side of the lane, and she gets tripped up on the way. A foul called on Amaya Ferguson.
Ferguson doesn't like that one, trying to plead her case, pointing to a spot on the ground. May have been a little bit of a wet spot. They got the cleaners here on the ground, trying to make sure that everything is nice and dry here, but to no dice, no avail. Musketeers are going to get a chance to reset here with 11.4 last shot of the quarter. They're going to try to get anything to go in.
Yeah, shot clock off, 11.4 on the first half clock. 28-26, Rams lead Xavier. Xavier with the ball inbounding right in front of us. It'll be Purvis. Purvis directly a few steps to the right of Coach Brissette Mitchell on the Fordham bench. Right next to our crowd mic. Should be right about ready to go, just cleaning up that wet spot that Madi referred to. 11.4, as I said. Xavier setting up in the half-court offense. Canerva gets it on the inbound, deep on the left wing, transitioning to the right wing. Dribble handoff to Mayo, to Purvis, top of the arc, back to Mayo. Screen in front of her, deep right wing three, no good. A few extra seconds on the clock for a deep heave from Taylor Donaldson. That's no good, and that's how the first half clock and the first half action will end. The Fordham Rams with a 2-point lead, 28-26 over the Xavier Musketeers after the first half.
Yeah, like a car starting up slowly but surely. This game is taking off, 28-26 as we head into the second half. Both teams getting their offenses off, looking nice in a lot of great moments in this game here. But if you're Fordham, you have to be happy with the way that you're playing. You assume a win is in your reach. The offensive rebounding disparity, the rebounding disparity in particular, just in general, 26-13, 12 offensive rebounds, 2-1. So if you're able to control the glass and give yourself second chances in the thick of it, you may just have yourself a win. Musketeers not too far behind, though, with 26. They've been doing a heck of a job getting to the free throw line and slowing this game down, getting points when the clock is off. Ladies and gentlemen, in the second half of action, it's anyone's game.
Only 19 points scored combined by these two teams in the first quarter. It was definitely a slow start, but as we saw there at the culmination of the first half, both offenses finding some sort of groove, some sort of momentum heading into the locker room. That's it for us here after the first half of action from Haas Pavilion here on the campus of Cal Berkeley. The Fordham Rams leading the Xavier Musketeers 28-26. We're going to send it back to the other coast, back to our home studio, the Rose Hills Studios, with Lou Orlando and Will Talent for the one-on-one scoreboard update and a halftime report. Take it over, guys.
The one-on-one halftime report.
Welcome in to the one-on-one halftime report. Fordham playing an excellent ball game so far, Lou, up 28-26 in a game they could really use a W in, and they're doing it pretty much a lot of the different things that we were talking about, specifically that rebounding for the Rams. They're doing it well, and they are outplaying Xavier in that regard. However, though, they're chucking up a lot of shots, and they're not getting them all to fall, but that defense has been an anchor. Once again, a close one, 28-26. But Lou, let's talk about that rebounding for just a quick second. 26-13, Fordham leads the rebounding contest over Xavier, and they also have 12 offensive rebounds to Xavier's 1.
And now, right, we said it a little bit at the beginning of the broadcast that, well, Xavier's one of the worst offensive rebounding teams in the nation. They're not just one of the worst, they're the worst. They're dead last out of 353 NCAA women's basketball teams in offensive rebounding. But when you look at those stats, doubling them in total rebounds, and you have 12-1 advantage on the offensive glass, you'd like to be up by more than 2 points. So, Fordham's winning in the categories we expected them to win in going into this game. And that's the hustle stats, especially the rebounding margin. They're not doing enough in the other areas of this game to have a big enough lead. Listen, that's an action-packed first half, and I thought both Xavier and Fordham brought it in terms of energy, gusto, whatever word you want to throw out there. I think, though, when Coach Bridgette Mitchell goes back into that locker room, she's saying, we should have more than a 2-point lead, or we're just not doing enough on the offensive end. Once again, I don't think they're sharp enough offensively.
Well, speaking of offensive things, Taylor Donaldson once again having quite the ball game, 13 points and 6 rebounds with 2 assists to go along to her stat line. Definitely the scorer on this team, the leading scorer in the A10, that is. She's putting together a nice ball game. But once again, though, Lou, Fordham's still trying to find that secondary scorer. You see Moore out there with 5 points and 5 rebounds doing what it is that she does. She's on double-double watch for sure, as is Donaldson in her own regard. But they are still trying to get something going outside of Donaldson offensively. It hasn't been the easiest of tasks. Fordham 11 for 35. That's 31.4% from the field. 5 for 14 from 3. That's 35.7% to Xavier's 40% from deep. And Xavier just held to just 22 shots compared to Fordham's 35. So that defense is definitely doing what it is that they need to get done, and they're doing it well. They're also not turning the ball over a ton. 9 turnovers to Xavier's 10. It's been very back and forth for sure, but Taylor Donaldson, to circle back to her, 3 of 7 as well from 3. She is just having an excellent ball game and is very clearly the leader of this Rams squad.
Well, she's once again this season leading the A10 in scoring. She's doing everything you could ask for from a scoring standpoint. I think once again the fear is this offense becoming too single-faceted on Taylor Donaldson? Early in the season you had that breakout from Moore where her and Donaldson were working really well together and they were scoring effectively together. On this California trip, as good as Moore has been in the physical elements of this game, I think the scoring a little bit lower than what you want it to be for a dynamic offensive group because, let's just face it, when we talk about Fordham women's basketball offensively, it's going to run through Donaldson and Moore. I still think they're looking for their tertiary scorers. And you see, Shea Harris hits a 3. I'm looking for her to maybe get more involved. Taya Davis held scoreless in the first half. I think that's someone, we saw her earlier in the season explode for 20-plus points. That's someone that has the offensive capabilities that a lot of these secondary options haven't really scored to the level that you need them to in a full-out offensively dominant way. And it's going to allow, not easy, we're talking about a player, the echelon of Taylor Donaldson. You know that the offense is going to run through her. It's still hard to stop, and you see that in the first half, 13 points. She's got 46% of their scoring. So it's not like Xavier doesn't know she's the focal point of the offense. But think back to last year when Fordham really hit their stride. It was other players stepping up around Donaldson as well. Last year, Amy Hayford and Taya Davis really found their stride. That needs to happen with this year's crew at some point, and especially in games like this against a Big East opponent, even if they're the lower tier of the Big East, right? You still see the size. They're still going to give you a hard run for your money. You need more offensively because, again, you're limiting Xavier's shots. I love that. You're taking 35. They're taking 22. That's a formula for success. The problem is there's just not enough disparity between the two offenses in terms of effectiveness.
Amy Hayford's a great name to bring up. That's definitely a player of that caliber that the Rams could definitely use on their team right now. And to circle back on what you're talking about with Xavier and being this Big East opponent, no matter how good or bad they are, it's still a tough conference, and they're going to put up a pretty gritty fight, especially if you're playing an out-of-conference opponent. The Rams have done a nice job of really kind of containing Lauren Christie as well. We brought her up pregame and mainly known for getting those blocks, getting those defensive stops, particularly rebounds as well. Just 2 points to her name with 1 rebound. They took her out for a little bit. She got into some early foul trouble. No one's really in any glaring foul trouble, but 2 fouls. She leads the team in that regard. Someone that the Rams have definitely kept in check so far.
Yeah, I think to a certain extent, right, as you said, they took her out of the game. 2 fouls, 3 turnovers. Lauren Christie has not been effective on the offensive end, and she only plays 8 minutes in the first half. That's someone that you'd expect to be out there for 15, 20 minutes. You look at some of their key players. Purvis plays the full 20 minutes. Canerva, their top scorer, plays 16. Lauren Christie is supposed to be that top number 2 option right behind the true freshman Canerva. Kind of the same way that it's Donaldson and Mora at the top for Fordham. It's supposed to be Canerva and Christie at the top for Xavier. Now, Canerva, I think, has had an excellent game, and to see the way that she plays, how confident of a scorer she is as a true freshman, I think for long term, that's the start of something really special for Xavier, and maybe she's the player that can take them out of what's been a pretty tough rut for that program the last few years, coming off that 1-27 season where they don't win a game in conference. You get a recruit like Canerva that can score to this level, that's going to take you to better places. But for Fordham to eliminate Lauren Christie from this game, it's not just the size and her impact defensively. She is a weapon on both sides of the court, and she really hasn't been allowed to be that in this game because of A, foul trouble, and B, Fordham defensively forced her into 3 turnovers.
Well, Canerva and Mayo, the 2 top scorers for Xavier so far tonight. Canerva with 10 on 3 of 7, and Mayo also on 3 of 7. She has 8. Taylor Purvis, 6 points, 6 rebounds for herself. She is 2 of 3. She also has 3 turnovers. Another thing with Christie is also the turnovers as well. She has racked up 3 on her own. So Fordham doing a nice job of forcing some physicality onto Xavier, getting that ball to be turned over. Fordham 9 turnovers to Xavier's 10. It's not a huge discrepancy, but you still like to see the shake-up there as well.
But you know what? I'd like to see them make that a larger discrepancy.
Oh, absolutely.
For me, 3 steals for Fordham. I want a little bit more. This is a defensive team that can cause chaos and make Xavier uncomfortable. I never got the sense outside of, or they didn't make Xavier uncomfortable to the extent that they made Cal uncomfortable yesterday. So I want to see them muck this game up a little bit more and make Xavier careless with the ball. I want to see more turnovers. I want to see more steals. I think Fordham once again dominates on the glass in the second half, but I think what puts them over the top, yes, it's offensive effectiveness, but maybe the easier way to get there is steals, turnovers, force more of those, and then get the points off of turnovers the way you saw last night against Cal.
3 steals for Fordham to 2 for Xavier to go on the narrative of the defense. And I'm right there with you, Lou. I was really thinking about the rebounding and maybe even amplifying that a little bit more, but they are really crushing it in that category. One thing that I always really like to take a look at, especially during the halftime shows, are those second chance points. A lot of second chance effort buckets for the Rams. 10 second chance points to Xavier's 0. If you can continue to do that as well, and you're as the Fordham Rams, you are going to be in a great spot. It's going to start with getting those turnovers a little bit more, though. Stealing that rock, creating a lot of chaos for Xavier. You got to go on a little bit of a run. The Rams did go on an 8-0 run at some point during this second quarter that helped them pull within a solid margin for Xavier and then eventually taking the lead. But if you're the Rams, for me personally, you got to come out firing. You got to maybe get a steal or 2 early on in this third quarter, convert with some buckets, and maybe even drop a couple of threes in there as well. Like we were saying before, 5 of 14. If you can drop 1 or 2 early, just get that offense going, maybe like a 5-6-0 run early on. The Rams could be in a very nice position and gaining some momentum 100%. But that's going to do it for our halftime show here in the Rose Hill Studios. We'll go to a quick promo break, and after these promos, we'll send it back to Cal with Chris Carrino and Madi Dembele. Fordham 28, Xavier 26. The Rams looking to close one out in California.
Hi, this is Michael Kay, WFUV class of 1982. WFUV is your home for all things Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to our Saturday show, One on One. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV Sports.
back here at Haas Pavilion, the venue and stage for the Raising the B.A.R Invitational. I'm Chris Carrino, joined by my partner Madi Dembele. And Madi, an impressive first half for the Fordham Rams. They have a 2-point lead going into the locker room, 28-26, and especially toward the climax, toward the very end of that second half, they really started to find their groove.
Yeah, keys for Fordham going into the second half. They're going to have to play this all the way through. What I mean by that is they're going to have to get dirty. Lou Orlando and Will Talent back at New York in the WFUV studios. They talked about it a little bit. They said that Fordham's going to have to make this one ugly, muck it up, really, as they're known to do. Fordham's going to have to get a little bit dirty, and they've kind of been doing that all game long with the defensive possessions that they've been having. They've been forcing the side of error on the way of the Musketeers. But if you look back to yesterday's game against California, 20 points over turnovers. Now it's just 7. Yeah, that's a 13-point discrepancy, and Fordham could play defense. And I know that we could play defense the way you know that they could play defense, that this could be a runaway train waiting to happen. The Musketeers hanging in there, doing what they do best, playing through their best players, getting to the free throw line and getting points while the clock is off. 28-26 is your score here. Both teams having to work on things if they really want to get one in the Raising the B.A.R tournament.
And talking, Madi, from the Xavier perspective here, they have been understated so far in this tournament, especially in that first half. We just saw a main contributor for them, Lauren Christie, picked up some foul trouble, picked up her second foul in that first half, and limited not only her time out there, but what they could do with her out there.
She's been a name that we have not mentioned all broadcasts wrong, and I apologize for that, because Lauren Christie is tied for team in scoring at 11.1, the exact amount as Canerva as well, and she's the team leader in rebounds a game at just under 6.5. A team that's already weak on the glass loses their main option there. She's 23rd in the NCAA in blocks at 23, and she's 19th in scoring. So she's a big-time name there in Fordham. If you're able to get her out of the game or ice her out completely, then the Musketeers simply have no chance.
Christie back out there to start the second half for Xavier, along with Garcia Raj, Purvis, Canerva, and of course Oborlova. Oborlova and Canerva, major vessels for the Xavier offense in the first half. For Fordham coming out there, it's Taylor Donaldson, Taya Davis, Shea Harris, Irene Mora, and Kayla Berry. Fordham still in there, home white going right to left, and Xavier in their dark blue going left to right. That's the whistle, and we'll start our second half. Taya Davis starting it off on the second half to Shea Harris. Shea Harris immediately picked up by a double team to Kayla Berry at the free throw line. Drives to the right side of the lane, no good on her layup, and defensive rebound brought down by Oborlova. Garcia Raj from the right wing. Now drifting toward the right corner. Pass into Christie. Christie has it on the right wing, back to her defender. Back out. Oborlova deep on the right wing to her left. Garcia Raj, back to Christie, top of the arc, straight on. Dribble handoff, Canerva takes the jumper, no good from right behind the free throw line. It's going to be a scramble for the offensive rebound. Eventually, it goes off the leg of a Xavier defender and in the possession of Fordham.
Not bad at that shot. Personally, the little sidestep to create a little bit of separation. Their rims in and out, but if she's able to get that shot, she could take it all day. No problem by me.
Shea Harris to Taya Davis, entrusting her to break the press. To Shea Harris in the opposite wing. In the left corner, Taylor Donaldson, her three, no good off front rim. Rebound brought in by Canerva on the defensive glass. Garcia Raj crossing over left to right, going through the lane, stopping, passing back out to Oborlova. Her three is good. Oborlova, the size doesn't matter. She hits from long range.
Yeah, high arcing shot there. Garcia Raj able to draw the double team, little kick out to the release that is Oborlova, and she makes the Fordham defense pay.
Xavier back with the lead, 29-28. 8:30 to go in this third quarter. Shea Harris back up top to Taya Davis, back to Shea Harris. Shea Harris deep on the left wing. Now starting her dribble to Taya Davis, top of the key. Back to Shea Harris, in the left corner to Taylor Donaldson, in the middle to Irene Mora, picks it up, takes a dribble, drives to the right block, takes a layup, no good. Kayla Berry tried to corral the offensive rebound, couldn't. It flies out of bounds in favor of Xavier.
It's been a surprisingly weak point for the Fordham Rams here. It's a place where they wanted to dominate, and that's paint scoring here. Irene Mora and Kayla Berry not able to get on the same page, and two goes the ball, but the ball ends up with the Musketeers.
It's Canerva bringing it up for Xavier. To Garcia Raj, back to Canerva on the right wing. Canerva, top of the arc, drifting back toward the right wing. Trying to get it in the right block into Oborolova. Couldn't. A kick ball, and it'll stay for an inbound for Xavier. Purvis inbounding right in front of her own bench to Canerva, top of the key, drifting to the right wing, crossing over right to left, moving left around the screen. Pass on the left wing, skip pass in the corner. Purvis's three, no good from the left corner. A fight for the rebound. Taylor Donaldson's on the ground, couldn't grab it. Purvis snags it. Purvis deep on the right wing to Canerva, right next to her. Just simply handed it off. Back top of the arc. In the right corner to Purvis. Purvis pump fakes back to Canerva, right wing. At the free throw line, Oborolova, lob pass inside. Christie has trouble, stolen from the double teaming Taylor Donaldson. Donaldson coming the other way and finishing with the left hand and the foul. Taylor Donaldson going both ways.
She's good for 2 a game, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be number 2 on the day. Taylor Donaldson going East Coast to West Coast from Rose Hill here into the Pete Newell court. She's going to hit the bank shot layup with the strong hand, and Fordham now takes the lead back with an opportunity for one more.
Taylor Donaldson, as Madi said, one more. She's been fantastic so far this evening. She already has 15 points, 3 of 8 from the three-point line as she makes that one, completing the three-point play. As Amaya Ferguson, she'll check in for Taylor Donaldson and give TD a bit of a rest.
Yeah, and Taylor Donaldson here with over 50% of Fordham's points here, ladies and gentlemen. Taylor Donaldson knows how to fill it up.
Mayo playing it up ahead on the opposite side. Garcia Raj back top of the key to Canerva. Canerva drifting over to the right wing. Now driving baseline side at the right block. Couldn't quite get the shot to go, but she's fouled by Rose Nelson. She'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, the late rotations there force Fordham to play catch-up, and they have to foul here. They're giving a foul back here, only up 2, so it's an opportunity for the Musketeers to tie this ball game dead at 31.
Yeah, 31-29, Rams lead. 7:11 to go in this third quarter. Canerva makes the first. Canerva taking her second. It's good. Canerva 2 for 2 from her trip to the line. 31-31 tie ball game, Xavier and Fordham. Taya Davis getting across half court, now has it at the right wing. In the right corner to Shea Harris, back to Taya Davis quickly. Now a lob pass inside to Mora. Mora taking on 2 defenders and still scoring. Irene Mora.
A paint score there, but it was as expert as they come. She's using her body to keep the ball away from the basket with the soft touch to finish. Good job there by Mora.
Played up ahead to Oborolova. Skip pass from Mayo on the left wing. Haas drives inside and finishes with the left hand. Haas tying this game back once again at 33. Fordham offense working quickly. Shea Harris tried to work down the baseline, and she steps out of bounds. Going to go back towards Xavier.
Shea Harris trying to make something out of absolutely nothing, and she's not able to do so there. But Garcia Raj on that last play, able to blow by the defender and realizes that Mora has no time to get up in the air. Little bank off the glass is good for 2. 33-33 here, midway through the third.
Marissa Antoine and Rams leading scorer Taylor Donaldson checking back into this game in favor of Rose Nelson and Shea Harris. And that one, that'll be a forced turnover in the backcourt. Taylor Donaldson forcing a turnover on the inbound and getting the Rams the ball back. Donaldson will inbound it directly across from us in the front court. Taya Davis gathering it off the inbound, deep at midcourt on the Script California logo, now drifting deep toward the right wing. Pass down low on the right block to Mora, spinning and finishing at the right side of the rim. Nifty work there from Irene Mora.
Yeah, I like the little action there to get her in the spot that she wants the ball, and she just does the rest, ladies and gentlemen.
Canerva, pass up ahead, pass half court to Mayo. Back to Canerva, deep on the left wing, picked up by Ferguson. Now straight on, Purvis, back to Canerva. Canerva, top of the arc, to Oborolova, left elbow, passes it down into her. The give and go works perfectly. The bucket and the foul. Canerva going to the line with a chance at the three-point play.
If anything's been working for the Musketeers, Xavier has done a good job on those cuts there, whether it be backdoor, strong, or weak side. They've been able to get it to go for them. And it's been a source of offense for them, and they've been able to, I would say, like, compartmentalize it or add it in, compound it, I think is the word there, with fouls, and they're here at the line.
It's a dribble handoff, dribble handoff or give and go at that elbow that's giving the Fordham defense some trouble. Coach Bridgette Mitchell frustrated after that play as Canerva makes the free throw, completing the three-point play. Xavier back in the lead, 36-35. Taylor Donaldson receiving a long pass in the right corner, pump fakes, drives inside baseline, can't quite get a shot up. Xavier grabs it, and they're moving the other way. Canerva going right to left on a behind-the-back dribble, now has it on the right wing, top of the arc to Oborolova. Oborolova, backdoor pass to the cutting Raj in the right corner. That three is good! Purvis with the wide open right corner three, and another big offensive possession for the Musketeers. Pass in the right corner, Taylor Donaldson. She drives baseline side, puts up the layup, no good, and it's going to be a foul on the floor. That one is going to be, I believe, is going to go on number 2, Mayo. That was inflicted on Irene Mora.
Yeah, and if you look on the side of Fordham, their defense has been breaking down in the last couple of minutes. The rotations have not been there. Maya Ferguson late to Purvis in the corner, and Purvis makes her pay for her sin.
Donaldson receives it in the right corner. Pass into Mora, right block, facing up her defender, driving toward the rim. And it's going to be 15 blue with a leg kick there. That's going to be Petra Oborolova picking up the foul on the floor. And it's going to be inbounded once again under the basket by the Rams.
Part of the reason why they wanted to go to Mora so early and often. Fordham will have it like that every single time.
Donaldson playing it to Mora, right elbow, facing up her defender. Dribble handoff, Donaldson, same spot. She'll take a mid-ranger. No good, rimming out. Toilet bowling left to right out of the rim, out into the baseline, out of bounds, and into the possession of Xavier.
Yeah, Taylor Donaldson getting the pin down there, and the shot from about 15, it rims in and out. But again, high-quality shot. Fordham just has to knock him down.
Canerva, top of the arc, crossing over right to left. Dribble handoff with Hodge, left elbow. Now top of the arc.
They are floppy!
Oborolova has it at the right elbow, doesn't know what to do with it. Backdoor pass to a cutting Purvis, and she scores at the rim. More pretty offensive work from the Musketeers.
Purvis finding Donaldson, even with her, just zooms past her on the backdoor cut there.
Mayo guarding Donaldson tight here, deep on the left wing. Pass to Davis, top of the arc. Pass inside to Chris Antoine. She tries to put up a reverse layup. No good. Defensive rebound picked up by Oborolova. It's going to be a foul on the floor. It's going to continue to stay towards Xavier. That foul going on Fordham.
Yeah, it's going to be a quick timeout here. And if you look on the side of the Musketeers here, they've done a good job rebounding the ball to open this third quarter here, trying to make up the discrepancy. They are now within 9 in terms of Fordham, grabbing 19 rebounds to Fordham's 28 here. It seems like the tide is indeed shifting.
Absolutely. Tide seems to be shifting. Xavier Musketeers out to a 6-point lead, 41-35. We're going to take a little break from the Haas Pavilion. We'll be right back with Fordham women's basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hi, my name is Ryan Rucco, WFUV class of 2008. WFUV is your home for all things Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to our Saturday show, One-on-One. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV sports.
Back here on the West Coast, Chris Carrino joined by Madi Dembele. 4:29 to go in this third quarter. 41-35. Xavier Musketeers lead the Fordham Rams. And Madi, we talked about momentum, specifically offensively for both of these teams, picking up at the end of that first half. But it seems like Xavier's momentum is superseding Fordham in this third quarter.
Yeah, the day as of right now goes to the Musketeers here. Their offensive production has picked up. They've done a great job on the boards coming out into the third quarter here. Fordham not knowing what hits them. And if you look at the lead changes, an absolute dogfight. 10 lead changes in this game. It's been tied 6 times. And the biggest lead goes to the Musketeers with 6 here. And they held that for quite some time. 41-35 here. Xavier has to be proud with the way in which they played. They came in here as the inferior team, the less talented team, but they've been able to hit Fordham where it hurts most, in the areas in which Fordham actually surpasses in. And they've made Fordham look kind of human in those areas.
Yeah, absolutely. The Fordham Rams building a ton of momentum offensively on the back of Taylor Donaldson, Irene Mora, and seemingly over the last quarter or so, this Xavier team has really done a good job neutralizing.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a complete turnaround from what you saw in the first half here. Xavier, again, has to be proud with the way that they're playing, and now is the time that they have to go on the run.
Canerva on the right wing, playing it up top of the arc. Oborolova playing it in the left wing to Mayo, going left around a screen in the left corner. Garcia Raj drifting out to the left wing, picking up a double team, and that ball's stolen. Loose ball picked up by Rose Nelson, going the other way. Nelson looking for a passer behind her, almost throws it behind Taya Davis. She gets a hand on it. And it's going to be a timeout. Or not a timeout. We're going to see what's happening here. Oh, actually, a clock issue. They're going to bring the shot clock back down to 25. Seems to have gotten reset on that Taya Davis pass there, so we'll get that figured out.
Yeah, and yet another turnover on the side of the Musketeers here. You look at them on the season here, 18.2 turnovers for the season. Their Precious Omashola, the culprit on the side of the Fordham Rams, able to hedge high and force the ball handler to give up the basketball, going the way of the Rams.
3:59 to go in this third quarter. 25 on the shot clock. 35-41. Fordham trails Xavier. Rose Nelson picking it up on the inbound on the left elbow. Tried to get the dribble handoff to Taylor Donaldson, and an offensive foul called. That one, I believe, goes on Rose Nelson. It is, and it's going to go back the other way in favor of Xavier. Purvis a bit shaken up there for Xavier.
Yeah, Purvis trying to run through the wall. That is Rose Nelson. She's slow to get up, holding that left ankle. Excuse me, it's going to be the right ankle there. She's going to take a seat here. Coach is going to go deep in her bag here. And it's going to be Garcia Raj back into the game. Purvis is going to sit.
Mayo going to inbound it in the backcourt to Canerva. Canerva really vocal, really important for this Xavier team. True freshman we talked about. She's been in the middle of almost every set they've run. A few dribble handoffs. Mayo gets it on the right wing. Oborolova to Lopez. Lopez, pass to Mayo. Mayo has it, top of the key, drifting toward right wing. Back top of the arc to Canerva. Canerva to Lopez, fakes the give and go, drives to the rim, and finishes. The give and go drew a lot of attention, and she just finished at the rim wide open.
Bit of a cheeky move there, draws the two there, and she has nothing but daylight in front of her.
Taylor Donaldson gets the outlet pass on the left wing, drives inside, doesn't quite get the layup to finish on the left block, but gets fouled and go to the line for two.
It's a tactic that's worked for Fordham, very particularly in the second quarter here. Fordham is able to push far side to Rose Nelson and to Irene Mora. They tried the same thing with TD. TD gets down to the basket in a hurry, and she draws two at the line.
Taylor Donaldson going to the line for two. 16 points so far this evening, 1 for 1 from the free throw line. She'll get an opportunity at two here. Missing the first there.
Let's go.
43-36, 3:19 to go in this third quarter. Making the second, nothing but net. Canerva deep on the mid-court logo, guarded by Taylor Donaldson. Lopez gathers it on the left elbow, drives left to right through the lane. Backing down, Rose Nelson on the left block, passes it out to the right corner, and it'll be a travel violation. Forced turnover there for the Fordham Ram defense.
Yeah, Rose Nelson's a big body, and it's hard to go through her, so you're going to have to pivot. But happy feet on the side of the Musketeers there. Goes back to the way of Fordham.
Shea Harris playing it to Taya Davis, to Taylor Donaldson across half court. She's wide open in the left corner. Takes and no good off the right side of the rim. Precious Omashola on the offensive glass. She finishes, but a whistle, jump ball is called, and it'll, I believe, go the other way in favor of Xavier. The possession arrow is the other way. No, it's going to stay here, actually. No, yeah. To Xavier, I was right. Fordham Rams were a little confused there, but nonetheless, Xavier will get it.
I think everybody was confused on that one.
Yeah.
Trust your gut.
Julia Garcia Raj Deep on the left wing, guarded tightly by Taya Davis, and a foul there on Taya Davis.
Yeah, Davis doesn't like that one. She thinks that she's willing to get handsy. If Raj is also willing to get handsy there, no one liking that call on the side of Fordham University.
Fordham in some foul trouble. Going to be in the bonus. It's going to be Julia Garcia Raj going to the line, 4-2. 43-37, Xavier leads the Fordham Rams, 2:40 to go in this third quarter. Raj going to the line for 2. Makes the first. Raj taking her second and hitting. 2 for 2 at the line for Raj. 45-37, 8-point lead for the Xavier Musketeers. Played up ahead quickly. Taylor Donaldson in the right corner, loses it, trying to get to the free throw line, gathers it back out to Taya Davis. Taya Davis thinks about driving toward the free throw line, ends up backing it back out, deep on the right wing, drifting toward the top of the arc now. Taya Davis getting it to Shea Harris, right wing. Inside, Rose Nelson at the right elbow, and a foul called on the floor. It'll be Julia Garcia Raj, and Fordham will inbound it once again.
A breather, if you could call that, for the Rams here. Having Butterfingers with the handle there, able to accumulate really nothing. But they're going to have a second chance here. A few substitutions. Omoshola's going to sit Kayla Berry soon to go back into the game with Rose Nelson at the free throw line.
Rose Nelson at the line. Chance to cut into this Xavier lead. Just over 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. A miss there on the first for Rose Nelson. First free throw of the night, no good for her. 1 for 4 from the field. She would like to see one go in here. On the second, no good, rimming off back and front iron. Taylor Donaldson working hard on the offensive glass on the floor, and it's going to be a jump ball called. That one will be toward Fordham. The possession arrow working in their favor this time.
Yeah, the last one going towards the Musketeers. Now for the Rams here. Taylor Donaldson digging on the ground, trying to keep the ball away from 2. And they're going to retain possession down 8, trying to mount the comeback.
Number 1, Lauren. Down 8, 2:15 to go in this third quarter. It's going to be an inbound parallel with the right block on the baseline for Taya Davis. Shea Harris passing it to Taya Davis, left wing. Taya Davis driving through the right side of the lane and trying to finish with the right hand. It rims out, and that will be going the other way. A foul called on the loose ball rebounding situation. That is going to be on number 25, Kayla Berry.
And the sequence of this game kind of reads as the one yesterday against Cal. Fordham starting off strong, but the basket seems to not be their friend. It seems to be getting smaller and smaller. Not the moment you want it to happen. Down 8, 37-54 as the third quarter slowly comes to an end.
It's going to be Petra Oborolova on the free throw attempt. She makes that one. Oborolova, her first time at the line tonight. She's 1 of 1 from the three-point line, 1 of 3 from the field, and her first time at the charity stripe. She's shooting 67% on the year as she misses the second off back iron there. Shea Harris gets the rebound. She's going to push it the other way for the Fordham offense. Now has it at the left wing. Pass top of the arc to Taya Davis. Taya Davis right to left crossover, driving through the left side of the lane. No good on the layup attempt. Christie secures the defensive rebound from off pressure from Irene Mora. Nerva moving right, now picked up by Shea Harris, moving left around to Christie's screen. Back in the same spot, Oborolova, her 3 no good. Rebound on the defensive glass by Taya Davis, played up ahead to Shea Harris. Shea Harris at the left wing, hesitates, then drives, tries to put up a layup off the glass, no good. And it'll go the other way off of Fordham.
Yeah, and the impact of Petra.
Oh no, it's gonna be white. Referee on the baseline corrects herself there. It'll stay with Fordham on this side.
The impact of Petra Oborolova cannot be understated. She was a positive 11 in the first half here, and she's doing everything here, preventing Fordham from crashing properly.
Inbounded in the right corner to Shea Harris, played in the right block to Irene Mora. Back out Kayla Berry, top of the key, drives to the left side of the lane. No good on the shot, but a blocking foul called on Lauren Christie. Foul called on Christie there. That's her 3rd foul, a pretty big foul for Xavier. And Kayla Berry will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, Kayla Berry with that big frame as well. Decides to go down low, tries to put her head down from the free throw line and draw the foul there, putting one of the more integral players of the Musketeers in foul trouble.
Kayla Berry at the line now, shooting 2. No good off back iron. The free throw struggles continue for the Rams.
Yeah, it's not something that's been their friend all season long. It's been a storied problem for the Rams, the free throw disparity.
She makes the second there. 46-38, Rams trail. Xavier, 1:19 to go in this third quarter. Canerva passing it to Purvis. Back to Canerva, top of the arc, guarded by Taya Davis. Canerva moving right, picked up by Shea Harris. Now moving through the left side of the lane, fakes it, turns around, puts it up, and it falls. Canerva, nifty work there down low.
Sometimes you could take a wild swing and it just might turn into a home run. The lead is now 10 on the side of Xavier.
Under a minute left to go in this third quarter. 23 seconds on the shot clock, 47 on the game clock. 48-38, 10-point lead. Taya Davis tries to cross over right to left. It's stolen by Purvis. Purvis coming the other way, and she's fouled by Taylor Donaldson at the rim. Taylor Donaldson not happy about it.
Yeah, Taylor on Taylor action there, but on the side of Purvis, second in the Big East in steals at 2.4 a game there. She's able to get her second one, and it rewards her. The rest reward her with a trip to the charity stripe.
Purvis going back to the line. She's already been to the line 3 times so far today, made 2 of them. She'll get an opportunity at 2 here as she makes the first. 38.8 to go in this third quarter. 49-38, Xavier leads. Purvis getting ready for the second. Hitting that one as well. 50-38, Xavier leads Fordham, 38.8 to go in this third quarter. It'll be a long press here for Xavier. Trying to play the inbound from the backcourt, played into Taya Davis. Taya Davis gonna move it up court, passed across half court to Taylor Donaldson. She passed it to Shea Harris, left corner, she hits a 3. Shea Harris with a big 3, bringing the Fordham back within single digits.
Could provide them a little bit of life as they enter the fourth quarter here. Fordham trying to do everything to get back into this one.
Garcia Raj, cross-court pass to Canerva. Canerva back to Raj, back to Canerva. Canerva top of the arc, guarded by Taya Davis. 11 seconds to go on the shot clock. Canerva drifting to the right wing, moving left around the screen. Pass in the right wing. Shot fake, then a 3 taken. No good there from Daniela Lopez. Just a few seconds left on the clock. That shot will not go. And that's the end of 3 quarters here at Haas Pavilion on the campus of Cal Berkeley. The Xavier Musketeers up 50-41 over the Fordham Rams.
And they got to be feeling very, very good about themselves. The third quarter, all theirs, completely theirs, and a complete turnaround from the first half. They've done a better job on the board, better job on defensive possessions, forcing errors on the side of the Fordham Rams. And Fordham, it's been a tough one, but now the fourth quarter is here. You get the 3 ball to go, so maybe that could act as an engine to a momentum that is sure to come. 50-41. 9 points is what separate these 2 teams from a win and a loss as we inch slower and slower to the end of this one.
50-41, Xavier leads. We're going to head back to the Rose Hill Studios on the opposite side of the country for another one-on-one scoreboard update with Lou Orlando. Take it over, Lou.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Week 16 NFL, couple key games in the 4 p.m. slate. Vikings hold a 27-24 win over the Seahawks. They improve to 13-2, tied with the Lions for the best record in the NFC. Vikings and Lions play each other Week 18. That could decide who wins the NFC North. Unreal stuff from the Vikings. Raiders have a lead on the Jaguars, 19-14. Jags have the ball with 1:30 to go. If the Raiders win, the New York Giants would have sole possession of last place in the NFL and, in turn, the #1 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Bills have a 10-point lead on the Pats. James Cook, 2 touchdowns. I know that. I'm playing against him in fantasy football. Hey, man, those are the breaks. Niners, Dolphins, both 6-8. Niners already eliminated. Dolphins on the brink. All the remaining games in the 4 p.m. slate under 2 minutes. On the ice, New York Rangers lost to the Hurricanes this afternoon, And a quick turnaround, another edition of the Hudson River rivalry tomorrow. Rangers Devils 1 p.m. puck drop from the Prudential Center. And then news off the ice as well for the Blue Shirts. Controversial forward Matt Rempe gets an 8-game suspension for a hit Friday night against Miro Heiskanen. He's considered a repeat offender by the CBA. Now, he can appeal the decision, but as of now, 8-game suspension for Matt Rempe. Fordham, the only A-10 team in action tonight for women's basketball. They're looking to come from behind and take a win into conference play. With the one-on-one scoreboard update, I'm Lou Orlando.
One final quarter from Berkeley, California. Xavier up 50-41 heading into the fourth. And right away, Taya Davis stealing, picking the pocket of Raj and finishing at the other end. This Fordham bench and coaching staff frantic as their team is on the court. A full press out of the score. Played up to Purvis at midcourt. She'll drive middle of the lane. Bounce pass down low. Ends up being brought back out. Garcia Raj. Skip pass into Oborolova. Kanerva gets it on the right wing. Kanerva going around a Oborolova screen left. To Garcia Raj to Mayo. Mayo drives inside, puts up a right-handed layup, and it's rejected. Taylor Donaldson has it and is moving the other way for the Rams. Taya Davis has it on the left wing. Going to move right around to Kayla Berry's screen, finding the rolling Berry. She tries to put up a shot, no good. Irene Mora on the second chance. She puts up a shot, no good for her as well. That one off back iron. Kanerva has it moving the other way for Xavier. Pass to Mayo left wing. On the opposite wing, Oborolova. Oborolova tried to get it in the left corner to Garcia. Couldn't find Raj. Now Donaldson moving the other way. Bounce pass down low to Mora. She finishes at the rim. 50-45. Fordham coming back with speed.
The defense gets a slap in the face, told to wake up here. Fordham with the quick pair of turnovers. Taylor Donaldson capping off with a nice steal and the score on the other end for the Rams.
Mayo playing a nice ball up to Purvis, and that ball stolen under the basket. Oborolova was the intended receiver, and Taya Davis stole it. Coming the other way. Pass down low to Kayla Berry, and an offensive foul on Taya Davis. Taya Davis running right into the defender. The defender taking the plunge and the charge and improving her pass useless.
Yeah, and a rightful emotion there by the Fordham Rams. Taya Davis trying to get the ball off the defender, steps in there maybe a little bit too late, but she gets the refs on her side, and she gets a quick break for the Musketeers, who seem to be getting hit with the avalanche.
Fordham seemingly finding a window, and I think they realize it. Kanerva trying to play it up ahead. It's going to be a kickball. It'll stay here with Xavier. Fordham Rams bench, the players out there, the coaching staff, everyone with a new type of energy about them, a new frantic, direct energy that is seemingly powering these Rams.
Yeah, and the Rams have to keep their emotional equilibrium in check regardless of the way the bench mob is up in arms. And with calls like that, it may discourage you, but you got to keep your head in the game. The game is 5, and you are still within this.
Taylor Donaldson picking up a reach-in foul at midcourt there. That's another foul, her third foul of the evening. Gonna create some decisions for Coach Brissette Mitchell heading into the climax of this game down the stretch. Only 2 more fouls she's allotted. Mayo on the left wing to Kanerva, left wing deeper, top of the arc, now drifting top of the arc. To Purvis on the right wing. She drives baseline side in the left corner to Mayo. She hits a 3. Big 3 there from Mayo. She brings the Xavier lead back out to 8.
Again, the rotations of Fordham kill them. Too slow to the corner there. Mayo making them pay big time.
Trying to play it in the midcourt to Antoine. She does eventually to Taylor Donaldson up ahead on the left wing. No good from mid-range, and it'll be a foul on the floor on Xavier. That's going to be on number 7 blue. That's Daniela Lopez. It'll stay here under the basket.
A complete bailout by the Fordham Ram defense to give the Musketeers some life there with the big-time 3. Almost acting as a dagger, if you will.
Passed from the baseline under the basket to Shea Harris in the right corner. No good on the 3. Antoine, good effort on the offensive glass. She's on the floor fighting for it. Eventually, we'll hear a whistle. A jump ball is called. And the possession arrow is on this side. It'll stay here. Marissa Antoine, good work there on the offensive glass. Shea Harris inbounding it under the basket. Christie to sub back in for Xavier, that in favor of Daniela Lopez. Shea Harris parallel with the left block, lobbing it into Mora in the paint. Mora, ball above her head, facing her defender. Dribble handoff to Harris. Harris driving through the lane, missing at the rim. Rebound by Christie. Xavier has it and is moving the other way offensively.
Yeah, and Coach Mitchell wanted to call on that one, and Shea Harris hit the ground hard.
It's Canerva guarded by Shea Harris deep on the right wing. Now moving to the top of the key to Mayo, deep on the left wing. Now at the free throw line. Oborolova back out to Mayo. Into Christie. Christie trying to make a bounce pass inside to Canerva. She kicks it out in the right corner. That mid-ranger is good. Shot fake by Purvis. A few dribbles inside, and the mid-ranger is good.
And the lead continues to balloon here. Fordham kind of losing life.
Velhovic gathering it on the right wing, driving baseline side, spinning into the lane, putting up a shot, no good. Offensive rebound by Mora. Mora kicking it out to Taylor Donaldson. Her straight on three, no good, rimming out. Rimming in and out. Antoine on the offensive glass, no good on her putback attempt, but she'll go to the line for two. More extravagant effort from Antoine on the offensive glass.
Yeah, a sense of urgency here by Fordham, taking back control of the boards here. And that's the way it's going to go. We talked about the second chance opportunities that they allow themselves, and they're going to have to play the long game with that method there. Carissa Antoine currently at the line looking to make a 45 or 47 and a 10-point deficit, an 8-point deficit.
Emma Wilson-Salto subbing in for Irene Mora. A change at forward for Coach Brigitte Mitchell. 55-45, Rams trail as Carissa Antoine makes the free throw there, cutting it to 9, 55-46. 6:37 to go in this fourth quarter. Second free throw for her. No good off back iron. Taylor Donaldson there on the offensive glass in the middle of the paint. To Shea Harris, straight on three. No good off front iron, and Canerva's there on the defensive glass. She'll take it up for Xavier. She'll try to go right around a screen, and a blocking foul there called on Taylor Donaldson. That's her fourth foul, Madi, of the evening.
Yeah, Taylor Donaldson appearing to get caught on the throat there as she hits the ground. Slow to get up. She's going to need assistance by her teammates there. She's going to try to walk that one off, but looks like she got a lot of elbow on that last action there.
Coach Brigitte Mitchell left without a choice here, having to sub out Taylor Donaldson with her fourth foul. 6:20 to go in this fourth quarter. Rose Nelson will sub in for her. Taylor Donaldson looking like there's a bit of facial discomfort. She'll receive some treatment. I'm sure we'll see her back in this game soon. Played up ahead. It's Martinez giving it to Canerva, deep on the right wing, now top of the arc. Canerva guarded by the freshman Velhovic. Canerva going left around a screen at the left wing now. At the free throw line, pass in the right corner. Purvis' three, no good. Rebound on the defensive glass by Wilson Saltos. Fordham moving the other way with speed. Shea Harris, the ball handler. Has it at the right wing. Dribble handoff to Velhovic, right back to Harris. Harris moving right around to Antoine's screen. Now moving left around to Antoine's screen. Takes the mid-ranger. No good off the rim. Be a defensive rebound, and Xavier's pushing it offensively. Garcia Raj stopping at the left wing. Deep on the left wing, calling for a play. Thumbs up. At the top of the key. Gathered by Martinez. Martinez having some trouble in a timeout called by Billy Chambers and Xavier.
Yeah, the Musketeers are going to be precarious with their lead here. They're going to take good care of it. 55-46 here as we inch closer and closer to the end of this one. They have the big-time advantage here. Fordham all out of whack. Bodies continue to hit the ground. The effort comes to no avail here. They just seem to be playing catch-up in a time where it really doesn't benefit them.
And Madi, on the offensive end, from a productivity level, it seems like this Fordham team is relatively doing their job. It just seems like shots just aren't necessarily falling.
Yeah, again, the basket seems so small for the Fordham Rams. They're generating high-quality shots, as they've done since opening tip here. But again, they are not able to convert. It's something that Coach Brigitte Mitchell talked to us about before the game, that the offense has to come aligned complementary basketball, just as in other sports. The offense working for the defense and vice versa, and that has not been the case for the Fordham Rams. They're going to have to go the long way and play the long game on the offensive side if they want to come back into this one.
Still the offensive rebound category, a staggering difference. 22 offensive rebounds for the Rams and just 2 offensive rebounds for Xavier. A wild discrepancy considering you're still down 9 points in the game, a 20-point offensive rebound discrepancy. I don't even think you should be losing, let alone be losing by almost double digits.
Yeah, the Musketeers were only 2 offensive rebounds, but they're proving that they don't need it at all. They're getting it done with their initial sets there, and the players they have on the court have come up big time, specifically Taylor Purvis. 2 big-time shots here on the far side wing, whether it be a 3, whether it be that nice little mid-range. She missed a 3rd attempt for the hot streak there, but she's getting her shot off crisply and without any defense or without any resistance there. So she's going to be a big-time player going down this stretch if she's able to continue to fill it up as such.
Xavier, 2 players having over 15 points, a combined 22 from Purvis and Canerva. Taylor Donaldson leads the game with 18 points. Taylor Donaldson leading her team in almost every statistical category, leading Fordham in points, rebounds, and assists. Taylor Donaldson having to leave the game with some foul trouble, but she's been absolutely fantastic this evening.
Yeah, and she's going to need some help out there for the Fordham Rams, ladies and gentlemen. Can't do everything if you're the best player. Honestly, I love the way that she gets down on defense, and of course the way she's able to fill it up. She plays both sides of the ball, but she's going to have to look to her other teammates. Coach Bridget Mitchell is going to have to look to the rest of the brigade to help her out and get this one done.
Taylor Donaldson checking back into this game with a Renee Mora, Velhovic, Shea Harris, and Kayla Barrett. It's inbounded deep on the right wing by Garcia Raj. Played at the left elbow, Oborolova, and it's stolen. Intercepted by Kayla Berry, played up ahead to Taylor Donaldson. Dribble handoff, Shea Harris, left wing. Drifting over to the right wing now. Pass on the left wing, Taylor Donaldson. Skip pass to Kayla Berry. She drives baseline side. Back out to Taylor Donaldson. Her 3 is good from the left corner. Taylor Donaldson shortens this lead back down to 6. 55-49 Xavier.
Yeah, Taylor Donaldson able to get her feet set in so little time there. Able to get yet another 3 off. She's been hot there from behind the arc. And she's slowly but surely pulling Fordham back into this one.
5:54 left to go in this matchup. Another timeout is taken there, so we'll take a little break with them. Fordham Rams trailing the Xavier Musketeers in California, 55-49. We'll be right back with Fordham women's basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hey, this is Chris Carrino, Fordham and WFUV class of 1992. WFUV is your home for all things Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to our Saturday show, One-on-One. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV Sports.
Back here, Haas Pavilion, 55-49. Xavier leads. Xavier with a monster 3rd quarter, but the Fordham Rams in this 4th quarter have slightly crawled their way back and made this a very competitive ball game.
Yeah, Fordham coming back into this one, and they got Taylor Donaldson to take from this one. If you just look into the rafters, number 3 with 21, 9, and 4 on the verge of a double-double there, but she has 4 fouls. Coach Bridget Mitchell's going to have to look to the rotation to close this one out, as her best player is on the verge of fouling out here. The Musketeers just have to continue to do what they're doing, and that's all hands on deck approach. You look at number 5, you look at number 8, that's going to be Canera, and that's going to be Purvis. Their big-time performances combining for 32 apiece has been able to get it done. They're winning by committee. Fordham relying on their best players, so the approaches may have to switch here.
And Madi, we talked about the offensive rebound disparity. We talked about how hard it would be to be out-rebounded on the offensive end 20 times and still be up almost double digits in a game. Well, the way to do that is to first shoot almost 50% from the field. They're doing that, 18 for 37 from the field. They're 7 for 17 from the three-point line. That's 41%. And a really important place, the free throw line. They are 75%, 12 for 16. Fordham's had some trouble from there, 6 for 11.
And it's not the shot quality, because both teams are getting the shot quality off. It's just a matter of finishing. Fordham not able to do it. The Musketeers doing it exceptionally well.
Yeah, absolutely. Ball played up to Purvis, past half court in the Xavier offense. To Canerva, top of the arc. Canerva scouring the rest of the court. Now getting picked up deep on the right wing, passing it to Oborolova. Back to Canerva deep on the right wing. She looks in the left corner, Martinez. Martinez pump fakes, drives baseline side, takes the mid-ranger. No good, rims out. Fordham offense coming the other way. It's Shea Harris. Shea Harris at the right wing, going past the right wing to the rim. Tried to put up a right-handed shot, no good. Back out Taylor Donaldson. Her left wing three, no good. Rebound fought for on the defensive glass, eventually gathered by Canerva. Xavier coming the other way. Canerva stopping at the top of the key. Gonna take a chill pill for a second here. Let the rest of the offense develop. Back up top. Oborolova. Shea Harris tried to deny the ball there and picked up the foul. Foul on Shea Harris, and Xavier will pick it right back up.
Yeah, and it's not something you want to give to the Musketeers at all. Shea Harris there with a good aggressive defense, almost got the ball back, but you're going to have to toe that line between good aggressive defense and straight out fouling.
It's going to be Purvis inbounding right in front of her own bench, deep on the right wing. Canerva moving left around an Oborolova screen. Back to Oborolova, deep on the right wing. Guarded by the freshman Velhovic. Inside to Christie on the right block. And a foul on the defending Arena Mora. Christie with her back to Mora, and Mora just a little bit hand checking.
Yeah, Mora looking for the offensive foul there. She's pleading that the elbow was involved. She kind of grabs the jaw, tries to move it around to rearrange it, saying that she got hit there. But it's going to stay here, and it's going to go the way of Xavier.
It's going to be free throws for Christie. She hits the first. Lauren Christie, only 57% on the year. The San Francisco and Buffalo transfer is one of two players in double figures for a point average this year, as she misses the second. Rebound by Shea Harris. Still a 7-point deficit for the Rams, 56-49. Xavier leads, 3:37 to go in this fourth quarter. Shea Harris has it top of the arc between the circles. Drifting over to the right wing now. Guarded heavily by Purvis, moving right around to Morris screen. Now moving toward the right elbow, and it's going to be a timeout called by Coach Bridgette Mitchell. Coach Bridgette Mitchell getting the timeout. It's going to be a full timeout from Coach Bridgette Mitchell. Wants to talk it over with a real last-ditch effort here in the final minutes.
Yeah, she's going to stop it before Shea Harris can get the shot off. Not liking what she sees from the offense there. 49-56 with 3 minutes left to go. Fordham mounting the comeback. Interested to see what Coach Bridgette Mitchell draws here, and kind of acts as a catalyst to do so much more and to put so many more points up.
Yeah, it's a full timeout, so we'll take a little break from Haas Pavilion. We'll actually stay right here. That was our buzzer. We'll stay here, not send it back. Haas Pavilion, as we talked about last night, named after the creator of the Levi jeans.
Interesting.
We see stars all over the place. There's huge pictures of Jaylen Brown on the walls heading in here, the hallways heading in to the gym here. There's pictures of Jason Kidd, his number hanging above us as well. A lot of sports history, I would say, here in the sports programs at Cal Berkeley.
Yeah, Cal Berkeley. If I do say so myself, it's iconic Cal, Chris.
Yeah, iconic Cal, a prominent sports area in the recent years, as Moore receives it in the right corner on the inbound. Pass to Taylor Donaldson deep on the left wing. She'll drive right to the rim. Tried to finish with the left hand. Didn't even get the rim. And Mora gets it on the putback. 56-51. 5-point lead for Xavier. 3:10 to go. And a foul in the backcourt. Kayla Berry on the reach-in. And it's going to be free throws for the Musketeers.
And again, Fordham has to walk that tightrope. The defense was there. No need to foul, particularly when you're down. And it's going to be Purvis here with the chance for some free points here to kind of get those points back from the Mora score.
It's Purvis once again going to the line. Purvis already been to the line so far tonight. She's 4 for 5 from the line. An impressive outing from her from the charity stripe, as she makes the first there after about 4 or 5 dribbles. 57-51, 6-point lead for the Musketeers. 3:09 to go in this fourth quarter. Purvis hitting that one, her 17th point of the evening. Played up ahead quickly, Velhovic to Taylor Donaldson, right corner. She'll drive baseline side, put up a floater, no good from 5 feet. Kayla Berry's under the basket to grab it. To Mora, back to Donaldson. She'll take a quick right wing three and a hit. Quick fire goes, and she brings Fordham back within 4.
2-4 for number 3. Seems like she's heating up there, and it might be the right moment to do so.
Played to Purvis, deep on the right wing. To Canerva on the California logo, drifting to the left wing. Now going right around to Christie's screen. Still behind the arc on the left wing. Tried to get it in the left post to Christie, and her and Kayla Berry are tied up. Kayla Berry receives the foul.
Kayla Berry with yet another foul here. Appears to be good defense from where I'm sitting, but a little bit too much contact for the ref. They're going to blow their whistle there as the Rams are down 4.
As Madi said, Rams down 4, 58-54, 2:32 to go in this fourth quarter. First one rims out. Rams get a bit lucky there as Christie misses. 58-54, still only a 4-point lead for the Xavier Musketeers. Nowhere near to a point of comfort yet.
Yeah.
2:32 left, still a lot of time. Second free throw goes up for Christie, and she got it. Christie hits on the second free throw, splits on her visit, and now the Fordham offense setting up quickly. Velhovic on the right wing. Behind the back dribble, brings it back behind the perimeter, inside on the right block to Mora, and it's going to be a kick ball that'll stay here with the Rams. Five-point lead for Xavier, 2:23 to go. Ball inbounded from under the basket by Taya Davis. Davis inbounding it to Mora. Mora gathers it on the right wing. Dribble handoff back to Davis. To Taylor Donaldson. She takes quickly. No good off front rim from the left wing. It's going to be a fight for the offensive rebound. The Rams got it. Second chance for the Rams. Taya Davis has it in the right corner. Drives to the middle of the paint. Gets it out to Taylor Donaldson. And a travel call on the dribble from Taya Davis. A lot of dispute called from the bench of Fordham. And it's going to be taken over by Xavier once again.
Yeah, Davis completely confounded with that. Pretty sure that she got the ball off before she got the third step in there, not knowing where that whistle came from. It's quick substitutions here for Fordham as they try to pull this one out.
Yeah, Xavier trying to get past Fordham's full press. They do. Mayo has it in the front court, moves to the rim, tries to finish with her left hand, doesn't get it to go. Christie on the second effort gets it to go, but an offensive foul is called. It's Antoine taking the plunge and causing the turnover for the Xavier offense.
Yeah, she got some quick coaching from Bridgette Mitchell before she came into the game for Kayla Berry, and she's able to be effective immediately, getting the offensive charge and giving Fordham the quick possession back.
Taya Davis bringing it up for the Fordham offense. Gotta think they're looking for Taylor Donaldson. 1:53 to go in this fourth quarter, and a timeout called by Coach Bridgette Mitchell. She'll take a little break, so will we. 59-54, Xavier leads the Fordham Rams. You're listening to Fordham Women's Basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hi, this is Michael Kay, WFUV class of 1982. WFUV is your home for all things Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to our Saturday show, One on One. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV Sports.
Taya Davis from under the basket, passing it to Taylor Donaldson in the left corner. They lose it. Taylor Donaldson gets it back, shoots from the left corner, doesn't get that three to go. But a whistle. It's going to be out of bounds in favor of the Xavier Musketeers. Goes out of bounds on the baseline by Fordham.
Yeah, very good chase and defense there by Taylor Purvis to break the initial action off, forcing Taylor Donaldson to put up the kind of okay shot.
Played up ahead in the front court, Mayo. Playing it on the right wing to Purvis. Purvis top of the arc to Canerva. Canerva, dribble handoff right to Purvis to Mayo. Mayo skip pass to Christie, left wing. Christie back top of the arc, Canerva. Canerva going left around to screen, now has it on the left wing. Pass back, straight on Obor. It is good. Oborolova from the top of the key, all alone and hitting the mid-ranger. Taylor Donaldson receives it on the long outlet pass, doesn't get her shot to go. Irene Mora gets it to go on the putback. Quick action back and forth, just under a minute to go in this fourth quarter, 62-56, still a 6-point lead for the Musketeers.
Yeah, Borolova in the first half was a net positive of 11, meaning when she's on the floor, her team is up double digits here, and it stayed the same. Consistency. And she gets the second triple of her game. For her, she could add that up. Number 15 with a big time 7 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. She's been doing it all over the court.
That one gathered by Canerva in the backcourt. Mayo trying to get it into the front court, eventually does, plays it up ahead to Oborolova, and it's stolen by Velhovic. Velhovic coming the other way, has it back to Taya Davis, finds a cutting Antoine, and she finishes at the rim. Now a 4-point lead for Xavier. It's evaporated. That ball in the backcourt is going to be wrestled for, and that foul going to be on Carissa Antoine, knocking over Christie, and it'll stay with Xavier.
Yeah, and it's a game that basketball fans know all too well here. It's going to be the free throw and foul game here. Fordham's going to try to play this one as long as they can to come back into it.
Christie going to go to the line for 2, a pair. 27 offensive rebounds for the Rams now. The most offensive rebounds a Rams team has had in over a decade.
Yes.
We're still looking. It might be a program record. Our statisticians are currently looking to find the year as Christie makes the first. But an impressive offensive glass performance from Coach Bridgette Mitchell and her Rams today.
Let's just hope that it pays off. They're down 5, looking down 6 here.
Christie's second free throw is good. Madi's right, 6-point lead for Xavier, 64-58. And the ball is stolen on the inbound. Canerva steals it. It's going to be given to Christie, the top of the arc. She'll be fouled almost immediately. And Fordham throwing away the opportunity there to get back and cut into the 6-point lead.
Yeah, throwaway is probably the right way to describe it. Carissa Antoine on the weak pass-in attempt in no man's land. And Purvis just picks it up and goes with it. And now it's on the side of the Musketeers. They have a chance to put this one away forever. Good riddance.
Christie at the free throw line, making the first. Christie had some foul trouble earlier in this game. Didn't see a ton of her in the first half. She's corrected that and corrected her play. She has 7 points, 4 rebounds, sitting on 4 personal fouls. The second is good as well.
Yeah, Lorena Christie here was a minus 4 here in plus minus, but she comes up huge with the big 2-time free throw attempts there as they extend their lead to now 58-66. Not much Fordham could do in 33 seconds.
And a Fordham timeout there, a 30-second timeout taken, 33.7 on the game clock, 30 on the shot clock, 66-58, an 8-point lead for Xavier. The Rams cut this lead all the way down to 3 at one point in this fourth quarter, but Xavier just pulling away in the final stretch. Xavier's shooting really efficient. We talked about the discrepancy on the glass and in the rebounding category, but their efficiency shooting the ball has kept them in this game and has given them what they now have an 8-point lead with just 30 seconds left.
Yeah, you look at the percentages, 44% from three-point land, 77% from the line, and 48% from the field. Very nice stuff from the Xavier Musketeers, keeping it clean.
Kayla Berry inbounds to Taylor Donaldson on the left wing. He'll take a quick 3, top of the key, just firing it off. No good. Rebound by Oborolova, and that'll be a foul by Irene Mora right away. Just to come back full circle on our offensive rebound conversation. Fordham Rams, last time they had 27 offensive rebounds or more. They had 30 against Dartmouth in 2003. Most offensive rebounds in a game in program history in the last 21 years. 21 years of program history. Not one Fordham team has had the offensive rebound performance that this Ram team has had tonight.
Yeah, and they're on the brink of at least
I wasn't even alive, Madi.
I wasn't even alive either. I'm only 21 years old, but 27 offensive rebounds for the Fordham Rams. They're on the brink of at least tying that record with 26 and a half left to go.
an impressive performance down the stretch for Xavier.
Yeah.
Xavier, as we talked about it, the efficiency of shooting the ball has really been what has kept them in this game. Rebounding, there's been a discrepancy. Offensively, we keep talking about it, but just in general, this Fordham team, 49 rebounds, almost 50 in comparison to Xavier's 29. 20 rebounds in discrepancy there. You look at the turnover margin, it's relatively the same. Both teams turning over the ball at a relatively similar margin, but in the free throw percentage conversation, that's a 20% difference. In the three-point percentage conversation, that's a 12% difference.
Yeah.
And in the field goal percentage conversation, that's an 18% difference. That seems like the difference in the game, Miles.
Yeah, a lot of Fordham strong suits coming into this. It's crashing the glass. It's playing good, hard-nosed defense here, but the offense still lags behind. It's the number one thing that's been holding Fordham back from being that really complete offensive team that you saw in that 4-game win streak, putting up 71 points and then doing it defensively by outscoring their opponents by 21. Fordham in the first game against UCal only putting up 53, now here 58. Again, the basket just does not seem to be on the side of the Fordham Rams. They've been doing everything that they can, drawing up high-quality shot plays. But again, the shots are not falling.
Shots are not falling. Rams trail 67-58, 26.7 left on the fourth quarter clock. Taya Davis set to inbound it right in front of us. Davis looking to inbound it, running the risk of a 5-second here. Tried to play it up ahead to Moore on top of the key, and it's stolen. Purvis has it in the backcourt, evading the intentional fouls from the Rams, and that will simply send Purvis back to the free throw line, somewhere she's had a ton of success so far this evening.
Taya Davis looking for anything, any sort of release there, tries to get it to Mora, but the Bigs comes in, swoops it, and they're able to steal the cookie without getting caught with their hand in the cookie jar. They're going back to the free throw line now. It's going to be Taylor Purvis looking to put this one away for good.
6 for 7 at the line so far this evening. Purvis looking to improve on that. It's good. Good for Purvis on that one. 21.7 on the game clock, 68-58. Purvis makes the second as well. Perfect from the line now. 7 of 8 from the line today. Taya Davis playing it up ahead to Shea Harris. Shea Harris to Velhovic deep on the left wing. Dribble handoff. Taya Davis. She'll drive baseline side. Nice bounce pass down low to Mora, and she'll finish. Mora finishing, cutting the lead back down to 9. 69-60. 11.4 to go. That one out of bounds on the baseline. It'll stay with Xavier. Canerva parallel with the right block on the opposite baseline. It's going to be a foul on a double team right in front of the Fordham bench on Christie, and she'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, and again, it's 69-60 here in favor of the Musketeers. This is just a cherry on top with 6.5 left to go.
A relatively low-scoring affair at the start of it. Xavier has now gotten to the point of almost 70 points, 69-60. Their 70th point coming on a possible make on one of these 2 free throws. Both these teams combining for only 19 points in the first quarter. So now to see 130, it was a big third and fourth quarter for both of these offenses. Christie makes the first. 6.5 seconds left on the game clock. 70-60. Christie taking her second and making her second. 71-60, the Xavier Musketeers lead. That one played up ahead to Taya Davis. She'll bounce pass it down low to Mora, who finishes. Another finish for Mora under the basket. And Fordham down 9 still. Just a second left, and Xavier will simply dribble out. And that's it for us here tonight and for the Raising the B.A.R. Invitational. The Fordham Rams trail and fall once again for the second time in 2 days, this time against the Xavier Musketeers, 71-62.
Yeah, and that's all she wrote. Fordham going winless in the tournament here. A lot of fight and a lot of good to take away from their experience here in California. But then not able to record a W, instead 2 losses here. They now drop their record to 6-5, nearing that 500 mark here. And the Xavier Musketeers on the comeback win. You get the impression that they come out flat and they're not going to do much for the rest of the game. But hard-nosed defense, locking in defensively, slowing the game down and working it through their best players is enough to win them the game. Xavier Musketeers 71-62 Fordham. Not sure where to go from here as they enter conference play.
Fordham Rams take the loss, their second loss in California, 71-62 over the Xavier Musketeers. The Fordham Rams are back in action at Massachusetts, opening up their Atlantic 10 schedule conference play. That one is on the 29th at 1 p.m. For me, Chris Carrino, and my partner, Madi Dembele, we say so well from California. We've had a fantastic time on this trip, a wonderful opportunity, and we can't wait to get back home for the holiday season. Thank you to Lou Orlando and Will Talent for holding it down on the other coast in the producing fashion, and we're going to send it back to them for the post-game report and the one-on-one scoreboard report. Will Talent and Lou Orlando, take it away. So long, everybody, from the West Coast.
The one-on-one post-game report.
Well, a tough second half for the Fordham Rams as they dropped to the Xavier Musketeers 71-62 after leading at halftime, but it was definitely a very, very tough and physical second half for the Rams, Lou. This time around, the shooting, as we were noting at halftime, it needed to get a little bit better. They needed to come out of the gates firing, and those shots were just not falling.
Yeah, it's a tough break because one of the things that we said at halftime was Fordham needs more than Taylor Donaldson to get going. And I would say, maybe not called out Arena Mora, but we said that's probably where you'd look for the production to come from. And to her credit, Mora, to me, was the standout in the second half. Led the team in scoring in the second half, 12 points, 6 of 8 from the field, and she ends the game with a double-double, 17 points, 12 rebounds. Mora ends up, to me, being the standout of this game, and I thought had a terrific second half, but I think Fordham doesn't do enough collectively, offensively, despite the great efforts from Donaldson and Mora combined. Donaldson goes for 24 again, and Mora goes 17, and ultimately, they're not able to do enough to stop Xavier's offense in the second half. And when you let a team shoot 58% in the second half, 56% it was in the second half, especially in a tight game where you take a 2-point lead into halftime, yeah, it's probably not going to go your way even if you do win on the glass. And I think that's the tough pill for Fordham to swallow, is that they dominated in the category they were supposed to dominate, but we also thought defensively would be a key. I don't think the defense was as tough and as stingy as it was against Cal and as it has been in earlier games this season. I think ultimately that's their undoing.
Well, they did definitely limit shots for Xavier in both halves, but Xavier was really getting them all to fall. In the second half alone, they go 10 of 18 for 55% from the field, 4 of 8 from deep, and 84% from the stripe. And I want to bring that up really fast too, because one thing that I definitely would have liked to see a little bit more of for the Rams was to try to draw a little bit more fouls. You put Christie in foul trouble. She had 4 at the end, and Mayo as well. Two of the leading scorers at halftime, and they both have 4 personal fouls. They don't foul out, but they're the only 2 that are in any kind of remote foul trouble whatsoever. And as you were saying too, Lou, the tertiary scorers for Xavier, they saw a lot of different girls scoring points today. One thing that Fordham really is really lacking in, Mora and Donaldson holding their own, but outside of them, they're having a lot of trouble getting the rock to fall in the bucket. But with the personal fouls, though, Xavier, 25 of 32 from the stripe. It's 25 free points right there. Fordham, just 6 of 11.
Will, the 32 free throws attempted and the 25 made, those are season highs for Xavier, and they're not close. And when we're talking about a game where you limit Xavier to 40 shots from the field and you shoot 75, hey, it's awesome that you limited Xavier to 40 shots, but when you set them to the line and they get 32 free throws, then that's not as much of a storyline for me because you're giving them a chance at 32 extra points. And so, yeah, you limited their shots, but you're fouling a lot. And so Xavier's still getting a chance for points on a lot of those trips. I think that explains the big discrepancy in attempts on both sides. I think the other thing you have to point out, you kind of touched on it, is Xavier, even though you'd think going into this game, more of the offensive profile closer to Fordham. They have 2 scorers averaging double digits, but in this game, 5 different scorers reach double digits, and it's clear that Xavier has that potential and for purpose to go off and have 13 points in the second half, right? That's what Fordham's missing. They don't have consistently the secondary scorers that can step up and give you 10, give you 13. For Mayo, who was an all-rookie team selection last year, I know she's been struggling this year for Xavier, she gives you 11. Again, you're getting more scoring beyond just Canerva and Christie, who ends up getting the 10 points on the day. So it's this wealth of scoring across the floor. For Fordham, it's so heavily concentrated between Donaldson and Mora. I mean, you look at Donaldson's stat line today.
She took 28 of their 75 shots.
28 shots. That's the 5th most shots attempted in the NCAA this year in women's basketball. 16 three-pointers attempted. That's the 2nd most. So it's really a lot of this offense is running through Donaldson, and then Mora steps up as well, but it's 10 shots compared to 28. So again, this offense is running almost exclusively through Donaldson, and that's probably at this point how the offense has to succeed. It's just going to make it tough when you run into teams. Xavier went on a heater in the second half, and they found that the team as a whole, they're hitting from all these different places. I'm not sure Fordham offensively can match that right now.
And Fordham with 4 starters with 3 or more fouls in this contest, and 3 of their starters with 4 plus fouls to go along with that. One big positive, though, as we were digging through some stats towards the end of this ball game, the rebounding for Fordham was absolutely fantastic today, despite the result. 49 total rebounds. Wow, 49 total rebounds. I had to read that again. And 27 of them were offensive rebounds, more than their defensive totals. Definitely something of importance for the Rams. It helped them out. It kept them in this ball game, but it was also expected they should do that. At this volume, though, that's a really, really nice day.
Yeah, and you know what's cool is that the 49 total rebounds isn't a season high. That they had 51 earlier in the season. That's awesome, and that's what this team's been doing. But 27 offensive rebounds. I mean, Chris mentioned on the broadcast, you have to go back to November 26th, 2003. The last time they had that many, they had 30 against Dartmouth. Crazy for Carrino just to drop on air that he wasn't alive for that. I was born in February of 2003, so that, I didn't expect to feel old with this stat, but Chris Carrino not on the earth when the last time Fordham women's basketball brought down that many offensive rebounds. What's frustrating is that becomes kind of a frustrating and disappointing metric in this game that Fordham crushed the glass. They out-rebounded Xavier by 20, and 27 offensive rebounds to 3 for Xavier. So a complete domination on the offensive glass. 19 second chance points to Xavier 0. These are stats that should be in a Fordham win, and frankly, a very solid Fordham win. And they just weren't able to knock down that Xavier offense in the second half. They weren't able to do enough offensively. Listen, moving forward, you love that you have this talent offensively or rebounding-wise. You love that you have this success. It feels like consistently this effort in all of the hustle stats. That's going to pay dividends for conference play, for the tournament. But this loss, and frankly this tournament, I think this stings a little bit because, hey, we spun the moral victory of the loss to Cal, the 16-point loss to Cal. I know that the net ranking isn't everything, but Xavier enters today's game 270 in the net ranking.
Yeah, that stings.
Fordham's 156. So I know it's a Big East opponent. I know they're tall. I think that Xavier's getting gypped a little bit on that net ranking. I think they're probably a little bit better. But I don't think it's unrealistic for Fordham to come into this game expecting to win when you looked at the way that Fordham had been playing, the way that Xavier had been playing basketball up until this point. to me, this is a disappointing end to what was a very cool experience for them, but what could have been a very cool tournament to build confidence for them going into A10 play. I'm not sure that this game necessarily did that.
And with Xavier as well, that's probably the most efficient that they've shot all year. I'd have to definitely double check, but just a lot of efficiency. That rating will definitely, that net rating that is, will definitely increase a little bit. I don't think it was a total failure for Fordham whatsoever. 2 hard-fought games. Had a lead at halftime, and they were down by 3 against the 24th ranked team in Cal Berkeley yesterday. So you would have liked to come home with a W as you enter a very tough A10 schedule. 3 teams, I believe, in the top 40. 4 teams in the top 45.
You get 3 teams in the top 45 of the A10, and you are going to draw 2 of them in your opening stretch of this schedule. And as we look at the A10 standings going into conference play, George Mason stands atop the league at 11-1 overall, and they already have a conference win. So starting out 1-0, you have Duquesne and St. Joe's 9-2. I always very cognizant of St. Joe's. They have that electric offense, emerged with a lot of young talent a couple years ago, really coming into form. Duquesne as well, they've molded into a really nice team, so they're 9-2. Richmond 9-4. Loyola Chicago 5th at 8-4. Now Fordham falls to 6-5, so now they're in the middle of the pack in the A10, and you look at their opening schedule, they open with UMass, which is still in a rebuild post the departure of longtime coach Torrey Verdi. So UMass, you think, on the 29th, even at Amherst, that's a game Fordham should win. But then it's Richmond, Duquesne, George Washington, Loyola Chicago, St. Joe's. Richmond, Duquesne, Loyola Chicago, St. Joe's, all in the top 5. So 4 of those first 6 games are going to be big tests for this Rams team that I think they're probably a little bit higher than where they maybe expected to be or where the league expected them to be coming into conference play. But they have, obviously, internally higher expectations for themselves. They believe they can compete in this A10. And whether this is good or bad, they're going to have to show it right away.
Well, we were talking about it during the game amongst each other. This defense can definitely hang with all of these top teams in the A10. It's a question of the offensive efficiency, though. You're going to have to hit a lot more shots. You're getting a lot of opportunities, and albeit with Xavier being as they are, they definitely are in a tougher conference. I think you're going to get more opportunities to get some buckets to fall. That defense is going to have to hold true and compete with this gauntlet that they have coming through. Duquesne also, I saw before, they're on a 7-game win streak.
Yeah,
started
they're on
2-2,
an absolute heater.
And now they are second in the A10. But, not a fully disappointing trip. It would have been nice to get 1 W, go across the country. A lot going on. You got a different time zone to deal with as well. And you got to play a ranked opponent. But overall, they come home, they get to reset for a few days, enjoy the holiday break, and then on December 29th, they head up to Amherst to play the UMass Minute Women. But any closing remarks before we wrap it up here in the Rose Hill Studios, Lou Orlando?
Well, I'll say this. Fordham, I said this last night as well, Fordham has a clearly established identity, which is defense first. They're going to ride their defense. They're going to turn that defense into offense. That's the way they want to play. They're going to out-hustle you. They're going to out-energy you. All that stuff we heard from Coach Bridgette Mitchell when she first got hired here in April of 2023, that's all come to fruition here in the second season. So it's awesome that they have their identity established going into A10 play. I don't think that was the case last year, and so it took them a little bit longer to catch heat. I think they're in a better position to compete in this A10 this season, but as we've talked about, I think the biggest question is, can this offense do enough around it? Because I think the defense, I put it up with any defense in the A10 right now. I really think that defense is going to keep them in games against some of the top teams in this A10, but it's can you get the help around Donaldson and Mora? I think they've proven that they're 2 of the top scorers in the A10. They just need a little bit more help, and that's going to be the big deciding factor with Fordham and these top teams in the A10. Those top teams in the A10, they have the depth. They have the system, and they have the depth of talent. So that's what Fordham's going up against when we turn the calendar over to 2025.
Having scorers and scoring at an efficient clip, not the easiest thing to do in the middle of the season, but we will see as the conference play starts up. It's kind of hard to believe that is where we are
Unreal, Will.
in the schedule
Christmas,
in general.
A few days, 3 days away from Christmas.
It is, and then before you know it, we're in the new year. But that's going to do it here at the Rose Hill Studios. Once again, the Fordham Rams, they dropped this one 71-62 to the Xavier Musketeers. They unfortunately go 0-2 in the Raising the B.A.R Classic, but a solid road trip, some hard-fought contests. They come back to New York and then head up to Massachusetts to play the UMass Minutewomen on December 29th, 1 p.m. tip in in Amherst, Massachusetts. But that is going to do it for us here in the Rose Hill Studios. For Chris Carrino and Madi Dembele on the call, they were our play-by-play and color commentators for today. Lou Orlando, our engineer, our updates guy. Myself, Will Talent on the production and studio hosting, just locking it down here in the studio, having a great time. And I hope you all had a great time as well. Signing off from the Rose Hill Studios. Have an excellent evening, everybody.